There is more to psoriatic disease than meets the eye. Psoriatic disease is a progressive, systemic inflammatory disease that presents a wide spectrum of clinical manifestations and comorbidities and substantially deteriorates patients' quality of life. Skin is only part of the story. There are visible manifestations like plaque psoriasis, scalp psoriasis, nail psoriasis, and palmoplantar psoriasis. Psoriatic disease impacts the body deeper than skin, with invisible progressive manifestations like psoriatic arthritis, spondylitis, dactylitis, and enthesitis. There are several comorbidities like obesity, arterial hypertension, diabetes, ischemic heart disease, and inflammatory bowel disease. There is diminished quality of life, decreased mobility, depression, psychosocial burden, and decreased work productivity. Psoriatic disease requires an early intervention with a complete treatment approach. The goal of psoriatic disease management is an early, complete treatment approach to holistically minimize the disease impact on patients' lives.
What is GPP? GPP, or generalized pustular psoriasis, is a rare disease that can affect the body in several different ways. First of all, it's important to know that GPP is not contagious. You can't catch it from someone else or pass it on. It's not known exactly what causes GPP. Some people are naturally prone to getting it, but it can also be triggered by something in your life, such as stress or medication. The condition is more common in women than in men. GPP often starts in people in their 40s, but can occur at a younger age, although this is less common. It's not known exactly how many people have GPP. It is currently thought that around 1 person out of 10,000 may have GPP in the United States. In France, the estimated number is 2 out of 1 million, and in Japan, it's 7 out of 1 million. Because it's rare, GPP is not easy to recognize, even for doctors. GPP is a unique condition that is distinct from plaque psoriasis. It can be confused with infections or plaque psoriasis, but the symptoms are not the same, and the conditions are not caused by the same processes in the body. Both plaque psoriasis and GPP can show up as large areas of red, painful, itchy, and extremely dry skin. However, GPP causes sterile pus-filled blisters. They're called pustules and can be as small as 2 to 3 millimeters, which is a little larger than a pinpoint, and they can join together and form lakes of pus. GPP also causes fiery red or discolored skin and burning pain on the skin. You may see blisters on the arms, legs, torso, or head. Fever or chills, joint pain, headache, extreme tiredness, muscle weakness, and other symptoms affecting the body generally may also occur in patients with GPP. These kinds of general symptoms are called systemic symptoms. There may be other health concerns with GPP, such as infections or problems with other organs. GPP can be life-threatening if left untreated. When GPP skin symptoms develop suddenly and intensely, with or without systemic symptoms, this is called a flare. GPP can have a major impact on your quality of life. However, it is very important to know that there are treatments that may help you manage the condition. Most of the medications used are not specifically approved for GPP, but they can help relieve skin symptoms as well as fever and pain. A first, very important step is getting the right diagnosis from a specialized dermatologist and receive help to manage your condition. Please speak to your doctor if you think you or someone you know may have GPP. This can help you find out more about the condition and get the help you need.
We are Janssen, the pharmaceutical companies of Johnson & Johnson. For nearly a century, we have fearlessly confronted the world's most devastating and complex diseases. Our goal? To create a future where disease is a thing of the past. Today at Janssen, we're more than 40,000 strong, working hard to treat, cure, stop, and prevent some of the most devastating and complex diseases of our time, from heart disease, diabetes, and psoriasis, to Alzheimer's, HIV, and cancer. We believe that challenging something is the best way to change it, so every day in more than 150 countries, we bring together cutting-edge science and the most creative minds in the industry to think differently about how diseases can be not just treated, but predicted, preempted, and stopped in their tracks. And we aim not only to innovate, but also to empower people with the tools they need to make informed decisions and achieve the best possible results for their health, both now and in the future. And we stay focused on the disease areas where we believe we can make the biggest difference: oncology, neuroscience, immunology, infectious diseases and vaccines, cardiovascular and metabolism, and pulmonary hypertension. But we wouldn't be able to achieve our success if it weren't for our approach to collaboration. We work closely with people who share our values, from researchers to governments, healthcare professionals to patient organizations. And we work with them at every stage, from early discovery to market access and patient education. Because ultimately, solving complex problems and moving forward is about taking a different approach. It's about how we work and who we work with. It's about finding the best solutions and then taking them one step further to help bring those solutions to the people who need them most, wherever they live. Because at Janssen, we're creating a future where disease is a thing of the past.
Strength and courage come through vulnerability. Psoriasis made me stop waiting and start living. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started to go to yoga class because it helps with managing stress and also getting more in touch with my body. It made me a more compassionate and empathetic person. I'm the person who goes and asks people, are they okay? Because I know what it feels like to be in pain, to suffer, to feel not well. It's just helped me build confidence. Also made me a stronger person because there's this physical and emotional discomfort on a day-to-day basis. It's taught me that I'm a resilient person. Psoriasis used to isolate me, and now it connects me. I don't think I would be in a position of being at peace with my skin, of feeling good, of living well with psoriasis, if it weren't for others who also vulnerably share their own stories, share their photos, comment and message me, and that I'm in community with. You are not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to be by yourself, that you can do the things that you dream of doing. It's just about taking those small steps.
My name's Rena, and I live with psoriasis.
Psoriatic disease is more than skin deep. Now the world has come together to fight psoriatic disease in all its complexity. We are united to change the lives of millions living with psoriatic disease. In 2014, all UN nations made a unanimous commitment to tackle psoriasis and aid people living with psoriatic disease. But 7 years later, we have yet to see widespread action, and people with psoriatic disease are still suffering. That is why IFPA is spearheading a World Psoriasis Day petition. By getting involved now, you can spark action. More than promises, we demand progress. You can make a genuine impact on the lives of people living with psoriatic disease all over the world. Join our fight today. Sign the World Psoriasis Day petition to challenge your government to deliver breakthroughs in multidisciplinary care and equal access to treatment. Demand change in the perception of psoriatic disease among the medical community. Stop stigma and fight for everyone living with every kind of psoriatic disease. 1 in 3 people still believe that psoriatic disease only affects the skin. But psoriatic disease affects the whole body, from the joints to the heart to mental health. Patients must be informed about the consequences of psoriatic disease and empowered to seek support from knowledgeable doctors. This is not a cosmetic issue. It is a serious disease. On average, people see 3 different medical professionals before getting a treatment that works. Everyone with psoriatic disease deserves an affordable, safe, and effective treatment plan that embraces the whole person, not just one symptom. 4 in 5 people with psoriatic disease have faced stigma and discrimination due to their condition. We say no. Speak up for people living with psoriatic disease. This is the power of World Psoriasis Day. Together, we join forces to raise awareness and drive progress. The time to act is now. We are done waiting for change. It's time to get loud and demand a more educated world that knows what psoriatic disease is, how to combat it, and how to love people who live with psoriatic disease. Sign IFPA's World Psoriasis Day petition online at www.psoriasisday.org and join our fighting spirit.
Our ever-loving Father, the core of every reason, the source of truth. You who made the earth and the heavens are the ultimate goal of every knowledge seekers, the infinite wisdom, the cause of all that is good. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to gather together as a community despite the challenges we face each day. Yet you remained and gave us strength to carry on the responsibilities of bearing intelligence and using them for better purposes. We now humbly ask you to join us in our endeavor to explore the wonders of life in the world for knowledge's sake, that in whatever we learn today, we become more grounded to you, who is truth, who is love. We pray that you bless our speakers, the fount of your infinite knowledge, that they can share something worthwhile despite the limited time we have. They can channel all they know and share to us the beauty and truth of living as your child. We pray that you guide our participants, the seekers of your boundless knowledge, that they may continue to persevere in the search and be deemed worthy to share what they learn from today's session. Sanctify us, O Lord, not because we are worthy of it, but because we believe in your love and mercy, that at the end of the day, we can take home something that's amazing and meaningful. This we ask and pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, helas ng sigatanan, Hello! Hi! Magandang
Hello,
hapon.
everyone!
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Nagkita-kita na naman tayo dito sa Psoriasis Patient Summit, Sorfield Patient Summit, BMW edition. Ayan.
Right.
Yes,
So,
what is
paki-heart
it?
naman dyan para po sa
Yes,
ating lahat na nandito at presently online. Nasa lahat po tayo ngayon ay wini-welcome po namin kayo sa ating Beauty, Money, and Wellness.
Yes,
Patient
yan ang
Summit.
ibig sabihin natin yung BMW natin. That's Beauty, Money, and Wellness. Ayan. So, welcome everybody. And like nabanggit nga ni Chris and Shea, paki-heart naman dyan, no? Para makita natin ang mga reactions ninyo. Paki-heart. Yan. Oh.
Ayan.
Tapos
Pusuan natin ngayon ng maghapon.
yes. And dun din pala sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon, don't forget, palitan ninyo ang inyong mga nicknames with your Sorfield chapter para malaman naman namin kung anong mga chapters ang represented ngayon sa ating BMW. Yes.
Tama ka dyan, Coach Shea. Kasi ngayong araw na to, mamaya at the end, magkakaroon tayo ng awarding sa pinakamalaki at pinakamaraming chapter ng ating psoriasis chapters natin.
Yes, no? So watch out for this, no? We are going to make this very exciting for the whole afternoon, no? Kasi syempre hindi lang sa full of information tayo, marami tayong matutunan. Of course, we will make it more fun and enjoyable. Yan. So marami kayong aabangan, no? Okay.
Marami po tayong guest speakers ngayong araw na to who will talk to us about everything about beauty, pagpapaganda at pag-maintain ng ating beauty. Ano pa ba? Yung second section is everything about money and wealth, pagpapayaman, pagpapalago ng pera, pagnegosyo, ganyan. And yung last part naman is about wellness. Ayan, paano natin pangangalagaan ang ating mga pangangatawan, both physical and mental health. Yan.
Yes. Sige, no? Bago tayo magsimula or go through the ating program talaga. So siguro it's about time, no, to open this formally with sino ba ang ating taga-welcome ngayon? Kundi wala nang iba. Oh, sige, actually, introduce nyo nga.
Ate Carol, before we officially open the program, we must first thank our sponsors for this event. Yes. Oo. Ang ating mga official sponsors, ayan, i-show natin sa screen ngayon. Of course, we have Leo Pharma Philippines as our major sponsor. Johnson & Johnson and Boehringer Ingelheim Philippines, and
wag din natin kalimutan ang Glenmark.
as our minor sponsors, we have Novartis, Galderma, Subom, VMV Hypoallergenics, and Camedis. Ayan.
Yes, thank you to our
very
sponsors.
Okay. And so, we are only able to run these events because of their help. Ayan, kaya maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Okay, I guess without further ado, we can open the program.
Right. Okay. To officially open our program, we have with us today our President, Psoriasis Philippines. He's also the Treasurer of the International Federation of Psoriasis Association, or IFPA, Chairman, World Psoriasis Day Global, founder of Psoriasis Asia Pacific. And as we all know, he's not just an advocate for psoriatic patients, he is also very active in other patients' organization. He is also the director of the Organizational Development for Psychosocial Disability Inclusive Philippines, member of the Philippines Alliance of Persons with Chronic Illness, member of the Philippine Alliance Conventions of Rights of Persons with Disability, and Committee on Patients, Family, and Community Engagement, Philippine Health Research Ethics Board. To give us the opening remarks today, let us all welcome with a round of applause, Mr. Joseph de Guzman.
Hi, magandang hapon. Welcome to the final event of Sorfil for 2021. BMW started, actually, the first BMW started as a very simple program in 2006. You could just imagine, bata pa ako noon. Ngayon, puti na yung buhok ko. Just a few moderators went elsewhere kasi naisip namin, ano ba yung hinahanap natin bilang psoriasis patients? So ang sabi namin, namimiss namin magpamasahe, pumunta sa spa dahil alam naman natin yung dinadanas natin kapag tayo ay pumupunta sa mga ganitong lugar, di ba? So naisipan namin yon, pero gusto namin lagyan ng iba pang palamuti at siguro more meaning into it. So nilagay namin yung, aside doon sa wellness, lagyan namin yung beauty and money. Paano pangalagaan yung ating financial resources na hindi alam naman natin na, Diyos ko, yung gamot natin, ang pagpapagamot natin talagang kung mayaman ka, kung milyonaryo ka, magiging mayaman ka na lang sa mahal ng gamot natin. So para matustusan nito, gumawa tayo ng mga paraan, paano maturuan yung ating mga miyembro. Anyway, the last 2 years has been very challenging for all of us. Alam natin yan, hindi lang sa sektor ng natin bilang isang patient community, ultimo doon sa mga ginagalawa natin, no, sa labas ng community na ito, sa mga trabaho natin, sa pamilya, nandong hindi tayo nakikita-kita ng mga kamag-anak, mga pamilya because of the pandemic. But we are not going to talk about all the miseries, all the challenges today. Instead, we will be celebrating our small victories. Itong nakaraan na taon na ito, especially 2021, although marami tayong challenges, napakarami nating victories na dapat ipagpasalamat at i-celebrate. Isa na dito yung, ito yata ang pinaka-successful na year in terms of number of projects, the quality of projects that we do. Yung mga pinagsasama-samahan natin na mga programa ay hinahangaan ito sa buong mundo. Sabi nga nila, paano nyo nagagawa yan? Pandemic. Tapos wala pa kayong pera. Kami nga dito, mayaman kami. Kami nasa Europe kami, nasa US. Hindi kami makagawa ng ganyang programa. Pero dahil sa inyo lahat ng mga leaders, mga members ng Psoriasis Philippines, sa ating mga kaibigan, sa labas na advokasiyang ito, nakita ko kanina, may nag-hi from Scleroderma. Ganito tayo creative, no? Sa kagustuhan talaga natin na magkita-kita, magsama-sama parati. Isa sa mga pinakamalaking success na ibigay sa atin ng Panginoon ay ang pagpasa sa unang pagbasa ng psoriasis bill sa Congress. For the first time in 16 years na hatak-hatak talaga natin ang advokasya, for the first time nagkaroon tayo ng isang tangible, masasabi natin na nakikita na natin yung success ng after 16 years ngayon lang. No? Pumasa siya sa Kongreso sa unang pagbasa at sabi nga nila, pag pumasa na yan sa committee na yan, dire-diretso na yan sa Congress. Sana nga ipagpatuloy pa natin ang pagdadasal. Pangalawa, bago natapos ang taon na to, nakakuha tayo ng lead. Na hopefully, may dalawa na tayong senador na champion sa ating psoriasis bill, no, na tinitingnan. Hindi ko muna sasabihin kung sino sila, pero dalawang babae po ito. Bahala na kayo bang hula. So ipagdasal natin na sana maging okay yung ating mga magiging negotiations in the coming days. Siguro hindi ko na patatagalin. Maraming salamat sa ating mga kakampi, mga sponsors, no? Sa mga leaders na hindi bumitaw. Sa mga imaginative na core group, no? Na kahit ano pang pinagdadaanan natin, sa mga patient rescue team. Alam niyo, hindi lang mga pasyente yung itinataguyod natin, no? Lately, pati mga nasunugan, mga nangangailangan ng dugo from other sectors. Sabi ko nga, yung aking page, siguro para nagiging public service na siya. Hindi ako kasi laki ng tulfo o ng KMJS, pero natutuwa ako sa dami ng tumutugon sa ating mga panawagan. So with that, I just want to greet all of you. Sana ito na yung last na online activity natin. Sana sa susunod na activity natin, magkita-kita naman tayo. Alam niyo yun, magkayakap-yakap uli, magkamayan, magtawanan in person. Ito yung mga namimiss ko dahil ito yung essence ng BMW noong 2006. Yung puro saya lang. Halos hindi na sila magkakahiwa-hiwalay pagkatapos sila magkita-kita. Maraming nabuo ng mga pagkakaibigan sa BMW na ito. So again with that, I just want to greet you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Maraming salamat.
Right. Thank you, Joseph, for that opening message. No, talaga namang like tama nga sinabi ni Joseph, no, ang BMW maraming naganap na friendship na nabuo dito, no. So, yan po.
At saka sobrang nakaka-overwhelm din yung pagkasabi niya ng lahat ng activities kasi parang habang binabanggit niya isa-isa, parang nakikita mo, grabe, ang dami talaga nating natulungan or ng Sorfil, di ba? Ang daming na-touch na lives, not lang of psoriasis patients, pati ng ibang mga tao sa lahat ng activities na nangyari.
Yes, Chea. Alam mo, talagang itong 2021 na to, talagang yung mileage ng Psoriasis Philippines ay talagang di mo matatawaran at yung mga inaabot natin, hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas, hanggang sa buong mundo ay nakikita ang ating mga ginagawa. No, itong BMW, Chea, hindi pa ako naka-attend dito ng physical yung physical na BMW. Kaya in-invite natin at naririto sa atin ngayon si Ate Carol para siya ang at least malaman lang muna natin sa
Ate Carol,
during the time
bigyan mo naman kami ng kwento. Ay, sorry.
Konting kwento, no? Yung mga na-miss ninyo kasi hindi tayo makapag-online, hindi tayo makapag-physical na BMW, no? So, yung first BMW ever ko, grabe, no? Ito yung, ito yung tipong walang tulugan. As in, sinasaway kami na, huy, matulog na kayo, no? Kasi, like na sabi nga ni Joseph, na talagang dito kasi di ba, pag hindi pa tayo nakakakita ng mga kapwa may psoriasis, parang feeling mo you're all alone, di ba? Pero dito, nung ma-meet mo sila, or ma-meet natin ang isa't isa, dito mabubuo ang friendship, no? Kahit first time, parang ang tagal-tagal mo nang magkakakilala. No, talagang walang ang hirap maghiwalay and everything, no? And of course, sa BMW, yan yung naranasan natin. Kasi di ba, aminin natin, no? yung mga babae, and of course lalaki din, banidoso din naman tayo lahat, 'di ba? 'Di ba nami-miss natin yung yung takot ka magpakulay ng buhok, lalo na kung meron kang scalp psoriasis, baka kasi mas maapektuhan ka, magkaroon ng side effects. So yan yung mga ginawa namin sa first BMW, no. Meron kami yung hair coloring, no, tapos may body massage pa, no, kahit back massage lang. Yun, 'di ba nami-miss natin kasi syempre ang hirap, 'di ba, pag yung tipong pag may mga lesions ka, 'di ba, parang pagpupunta ka sa spa, parang 'di ba, hindi mo alam kung paano ka tatanggapin ng mga massage therapist, 'di ba? So doon nag-ipon-ipon talaga, as in nagdala sila ng nagdala ang Sorfil ng magmamasahe, actually yung sa hair coloring, kapwa natin, members din natin, na dati meron tayong isang member na nasa Canada na ngayon, siya yung parang nag-sponsor nung hair coloring kasi meron siyang salon dati sa Quezon City, no? And of course, when it comes to money naman, tinuruan naman tayo. Ang first ever na nagturo, actually tatandaan ko noon, is yung isa nating senior mod, no, si Miss Madam Lisa, no? Alam ko tinuro niya is yung paano mag-silk screen, no? Nag-silk screen. As in silk screening ng t-shirt mismo na ginamit namin for the BMW. Fresh from the silk screen na printing. Yun yung ginamit namin for the parang pictorial at the end of the day, no? At the end of the BMW. Then of course, pagdating naman sa wellness, ayan, tinuruan kami ng isa ring isa sa mga talagang supporters ever since ng Sorfil, isa rin doktor na kaibigan ni Joseph, si Doc Alex Delgado, no? Tinuruan kaming mag-yoga. Ayan. Oo, yan yung mga Then of course, yung mga kwentuhan pa, then syempre parang halos every 2 years yata ginagawa natin yung BMW. Okay. Then parang naka-apat tayo na physical, no, na meron tayo. Meron din tayo sa Laguna, ganun din. Syempre nadadagdagan. And yung sa Laguna naman, it's more on noon sinama na natin pati mga kids, no? Pati kids kasama din doon. Meron din tayong portion na meron silang activities for the kids din, no? Na ginawa para malibang din. Hindi lang para sa mga Sorfil patients or sa mga members, and even actually pag BMW kahit family members kasama din eh. So ganun natin inaalagaan ang ating mga members. And yung isa sa pinakamasaya, which I think yun yung nilang i-reminisce nila bukas, no, sa ating BMW na live, sa ating Weekends with Sorfil live tomorrow, no. At as in i-reminisce yung yung naganap ng mga unforgettable memories, no. Meron kami, I don't know kung mapapakita natin yung mga ilang pictures na meron during those yung physical na BMW natin, no. Ito yung naganap noon sa Bataan, wherein we are more than, I think, 7 buses of patients, no? Dinala natin sa Morong Bataan para sa 2 days na BMW, no?
2 days?
Oo, 2 days talaga. Ganun tayo kabong, ganun. Kahit sabihin mo, wala tayong pera, pero nagagawa natin yon. Of course, to the sponsors din, Pero syempre, yun yung talaga nakakamiss, no? So, anyway, yun yung mga ganap, no, doon sa mga BMW natin. So hopefully, sabi nga ni Joseph, magawa natin ulit siya ng face-to-face. So yan, no, para kasi talaga unforgettable memories yun. Yung may babalik at babalikan ka, no. Iba pa rin yung physical na nagkikita-kita tayo at saka yung bonding.
Oo.
Yan.
Parang ang saya-saya, ang dami nating na-miss, Chris.
Oo nga.
Pero ang galing rin naman, 'di ba? Na maski na hindi pa rin tayo magkakasama ngayon for the second year, nagawa pa rin nating malagay to online, 'di ba? Ngayon with this program. And ang maganda pa dito, we can reach more people kasi hindi lang yung mga taga Luzon or taga Manila. Kasi yun nga, maski mga taga Visayas, Mindanao and abroad, pwede ring makinig sa atin ngayon. Kasi ganun pa rin naman, meron pa ring beauty, money, and wellness tips. Ayan.
So Chea and Ate Carol, itong balik tanaw natin sa BMW ay kailangan nilang abangan bukas or sa susunod nating episode sa WWP, ating Weekends with Sorfil, para makita nila kasama doon yung mga videos and pictures siguro, para lalong makita natin kung ano talaga ang ginagawa natin during the physical meetups natin.
Yes, and pag napanood yun, that is really something you would look forward to. Na sana magkaroon na ng physical na BMW. And of course, kahit yung mga meetups lang natin, no? Kasi talaga naman sa totoo lang, basta every meetups, ang hirap maghiwa-hiwalay, no? Kasi parang mag-start ka magpaalam ng halimbawa ng mga bandang alas 7, for sure makakauwi ka alas 11 kasi ang daming station of the cross kumbaga. Tawag natin Station of the Cross kasi nakailang paalam ka na, hindi ka pa nakakauwi.
Mahirap talaga magpaalamanan. Anyway, para ngayon, di ba? Sarap, nire-reminisce lang natin siya. Nahirapan tayong i-end kasi ang daming
Oo nga,
memories,
sa totoo lang.
diba?
Pero we have to end
Pero
the reminiscing kasi mahaba pa yung program natin.
Yes, nagsisimula pa lang. And so, to begin with the first part of our program, which is all about beauty, we have invited a very special guest speaker. This guest speaker obtained her Doctor of Medicine degree from the University of Santo Tomas Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. She completed her dermatology residency at the Makati Medical Center, where she was Deputy Chief Resident in her senior year. And after passing the dermatology diplomate exams in 2019, she pursued a one-year fellowship training in photomedicine, vitiligo from Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, Michigan, USA. Currently, she is a practicing dermatologist in Makati Medical Center, Tondo Medical Center, and Aventus Medical Care Incorporated. So, ayan na, to officially begin with our first talk about beauty, to tell us about daily basic skincare for psoriasis patients, let us all welcome Dr. Angeli Eloise Torres.
Hello, good afternoon po.
Hi, Doc Angeli.
Good afternoon po. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so happy to have you today. I think you're going to talk about daily basic skincare at hindi lang basta-basta but para sa aming mga psoriasis patients, right?
Yes, hopefully I may try to make it as simple as possible. So hopefully you'll enjoy the lecture and marami kayong matutunan. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start my lecture, I would like to thank Psoriasis Philippines for inviting me today. So this lecture will be all about the basics of skincare. So I have no relevant disclosures, and throughout my lecture, I will be mentioning brands or showing brands, but please note that I am not affiliated with any skincare company, nor do I endorse a specific product. This will be the outline of our lecture today. We'll start with the definition of skincare and the different skin types, a simplified approach to skincare in general. Then we'll go more into the specifics of how to take care of your skin, hair, and nails if you're a person with psoriasis. So skincare, by definition, is a range of practices that support skin integrity, enhance appearance, and relieve skin conditions. This can include nutrition, avoidance of excessive sun exposure, and appropriate use of moisturizers. So it's not just the surface, but it also comes from within. So before starting a skincare routine, it's important to identify and understand your skin type. This will help you in the choice of products to use, and it will help you maximize the results and minimize potential irritations from these products. Most references would cite these 5 types, namely normal, sensitive, dry, oily, and combination. So normal skin is usually clear and they're quite resistant to products. On the other hand, we have sensitive skin types who can sting or burn after product use. Dry skin appears flaky, itchy, or rough, while on the other end of that spectrum is oily skin, which is shiny and greasy. Now, if you have combination skin, you can be dry in some areas while oily in others, which is more commonly the T-zone of the face. So in recent years, there has been a shift in beauty trends. Now, it used to be all about makeup. Now it's all about skincare. And this has become more apparent during the pandemic. We have seen celebrities on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok advocating 10, 20, sometimes even 50 steps into their routine. However, most dermatologists, including myself, would agree that more is not always better. And in fact, using too many products can actually irritate your skin. Moreover, it's important to remember that products don't have to be expensive in order to be effective. And so, as a personal advocate of less is more, adopting a simple three-step approach that includes cleansing, moisturizing, and sun protection is actually all you need to keep your skin healthy. And this is without breaking the bank. These three would form what I like to call the skeleton of a basic skincare routine. And you can build on this as you go if you want to add more products. But if you're more of a minimalist, these are what I would consider already the bare minimum. So let's go over them one by one, okay? So first is cleansing. Washing the face is the most basic and essential step in any routine. With the right cleanser, it removes dirt, oil, and debris, and helps prevent clogged pores and breakouts. So this should be limited to only twice a day and after sweating, because too much face washing can actually cause dryness and irritation. Now, it's important to note that because many environmental impurities and cosmetic products do not dissolve in water, washing the skin with just water is not enough to remove them. And that's why we need cleansers. Cleansers are substances that have been formulated with emulsifiers or surfactants. So what are these surfactants? They lower surface tension of two liquids that cannot mix, for example, oil and water. So therefore, the surfactants in your cleanser will wrap around the dirt on your face, and so they'll envelope them and allow them to be lifted off your skin and mixed and washed away with the water. So an ideal cleanser should be able to wash the skin of impurities without causing damage or irritation, and in fact should be able to try to keep the skin moist. Now there are different types of cleansers, namely soap, Syndets, comb bars, lipid-free cleansing lotions, liquid body washes, and cold creams or cleansing balms. Soap is the prototype skin cleanser and plays a prominent role in the personal care market. However, soap raises the skin's pH, making it more alkaline or basic, so they can be drying and irritating. An example of this would be your deodorant soaps or antibacterial soaps. So most dermatologists would not recommend using the traditional soap for washing the face or even the body for that matter. Synthetic detergents or Syndet bars have a non-soap synthetic surfactant and have a neutral or slightly acidic pH, so it's closer to the natural pH of your skin, making this less irritating. In addition to this, your Syndet bars provide a moisturizing benefit that helps maintain hydration of the skin. So a good example of this is Dove, and this is actually the very first Syndet bar launched in the market. Other examples would be your Cetaphil soap and Eucerin cleansing bar. So combination bars or comb bars are designed to incorporate the most desirable properties of plain soaps and Syndets. So it's like the in-between. Like true soap, comb bars have a high pH, but they are said to be milder than soap. And they clean better than Syndets. So most of the cleansers that we see in the market nowadays would fall under this category. Lipid-free cleansers are a good option for people with excessively dry and sensitive skin because they leave an invisible layer or film that helps keep the skin moist. What's unique about them is that you don't need to wash them off. So you just put them on your face, lather them, and wipe them away, and that's it. So this is great for people with certain skin conditions like eczema who do not react very well with soap and water. Now, liquid cleansers or body washes are typically a combination of detergents. It has a low pH, so close to the skin's pH, enabling it to wash off bacteria while maintaining the pH at a physiologic level. More emollients are incorporated into these products, making them milder and far less irritating than bar soaps. So with prolonged use, they can even improve the skin over time. Cold creams or cleansing balms contain surfactants or emulsifiers that are mixed with lipids, so they are very malapot. They are commonly used to remove makeup, and below are just some of the examples of cold creams and cleansing balms that we have in the market. Now, how you wash your face can make a difference in your appearance. Most dermatologists would recommend following these steps. First, use a gentle, non-abrasive cleanser that does not contain alcohol. Next, wet your face with lukewarm water and use your fingertips to apply cleanser. Avoid scrubbing with washcloth, sponge, or anything else other than your fingers because these can irritate the skin. Lastly, rinse off the cleanser with lukewarm water and pat it dry with a soft towel. So now let's move on to step 2, which is moisturization. Moisturization is an important step in your skincare routine. A moisturizer can improve skin hydration and enhance skin barrier repair. So it is recommended to moisturize the skin regardless of the skin type. So it's not true that if you're oily, you don't need moisturizer. You still do. This is because the skin can naturally lose its ability to maintain moisture as we age and with certain activities. Like for example, if you wash your face a lot or you wash your hands a lot, this can strip off the natural moisture from the skin and make it dry and irritable. Now, there are 3 main kinds of moisturizers. These are your emollients, humectants, and occlusives. Each of these have their unique function that can benefit the skin. So emollients seal water into the skin, making it feel soft and smooth. These are best for normal to dry skin types, and the common ingredients in emollients would be colloidal oatmeal and shea butter. Humectants, on the other hand, increase water absorption from the deeper layers of the skin or the dermis onto the surface or the epidermis where evaporation easily happens. So they are best for normal to oily or combination skin, and common ingredients would include hyaluronic acid, aloe vera, and urea. Occlusives prevent water from escaping the skin. So they are best applied when your skin is still wet. They are good for extremely dry or sensitive skin and can come in the form of mineral oils, petroleum jelly, and much more. So these are a few examples of emollients, humectants, and occlusives that are available in the market. Now, to get the most out of your moisturizer, it should be applied to damp skin. So the best way to do this is after getting out of the shower, you pat your skin dry and apply your moisturizer within 3 to 5 minutes. Moisture traps the water in your skin, helping it look brighter and younger. So application should be done at least twice a day. And remember to moisturize your face, body, and lips, even if you have oily skin. Last in our 3-step approach is sun protection. Protecting the skin with sunscreen is a crucial part of a skincare routine. Daily and consistent use of sunscreen helps prevent sunburn, premature aging, and certain cancers. Sunscreen should be applied to all skin surfaces that is not covered by clothing. Now, we have 2 types of sunscreens. You've probably heard this before, physical and chemical. Physical sunscreens work like a shield, so they sit on top of the skin and deflect the sun's rays. While chemical sunscreens work like a sponge, they absorb the sun's rays. The active ingredients in physical sunscreens are zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, sometimes in combination, while chemical sunscreens contain one or more of the following ingredients. So para po mas madaling tandaan nyo na lang yung zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. If hindi siya yun, it's probably a chemical sunscreen. And then lastly, physical sunscreens are a good option for people with sensitive skin. However, because they just sit on top of your skin, when you apply them, it tends to leave a white cast. So kabuki white siya talaga. On the other hand, chemical sunscreens are easier to apply and rub into the skin and does not leave a white residue. But this can be irritating in people with sensitive skin. So the effectiveness of your sunscreen is highly dependent on how correctly you apply it. So here are some guidelines on how to correctly apply your sunscreen in order to maximize its benefits. First, you have to choose a sunscreen with an SPF or 30 or higher. Actually, I'm a little more strict with this. I tell my patients 50 or higher. And you have to choose a formulation that's water resistant and with broad spectrum coverage. So when you say broad spectrum, it usually says on the label that it covers both UVA and UVB. Now it can take some time for your sunscreen to activate. So you have to apply it 30 minutes before going out, and you need to reapply it every 2 hours because it degrades under the sun and it washes off when you sweat. Make sure you're using enough. No, this is the number one mistake. People don't use enough sunscreen. Make sure you're using enough. Most adults will need about an ounce or enough to fill a shot glass to cover your whole body. But for me, a more easy way to determine how much sunscreen you need is to apply 2 lines along the entire length of your index and middle finger. So one strip, one strip. That whole thing is for your face only. And then remember to apply sunscreen to all of your bare skin. Don't forget about your neck, face, ears, tops of your feet, and your legs. For hard to reach areas like your upper back, you can ask someone to help you. And if you're someone with thinning hair, you may either need to apply sunscreen up there or wear a wide brimmed hat. To your lips, which is often forgotten, apply lip balm with an SPF of at least 15. And lastly, you have to remember that sun protection is not just about the sunscreen. It's actually a full package that includes avoiding the sun, seeking shade, wearing sun protective clothing, wide brimmed hats, sunglasses, and your broad spectrum sunscreen. Now, one of the most common questions I get in my practice is how should they apply products in the order, if there's a certain order rather that they should apply their products. And this is actually a very valid question though, because the sequence in which you apply your skincare products can actually affect how well they work. So dermatologists recommend that you apply products in this order. First, of course, start with a clean slate. Wash your face with a gentle cleanser, excuse me, and pat it dry. If you're using medicine or treatment for your skin, you should apply this next after cleansing. Then go in with your moisturizer followed by your sunscreen. If you want to wear makeup, this should be the last step after sunscreen. And if you're someone who's more into skincare and you want to add more products in your routine, this can be done depending on your needs and preference. So these products can come in the form of toners, serums, exfoliants, or masks to target a more specific skin concern. Now, a general rule of thumb is to apply products with the thinner consistency first, followed by the thicker one. So thinnest to thickest consistency. While exfoliants and masks should only be limited to once weekly use. Now, other useful tips would be to use your ring finger to apply products around the eyes. And this is because the ring finger is your lightest finger and will not tug the delicate skin around that area. If you're a very busy person or you're on a budget, consider using dual function products. For example, a moisturizer with SPF. Marami nang ganito ngayon. So this can actually save you a step in your skincare routine, especially if you're always in a hurry. Read your product labels. Now, I generally tell patients to look for products that work best for their skin type, and those that have fragrance-free and non-comedogenic written on them are generally recommended by most dermatologists. So as you choose products for your skincare, stick to the key active ingredients and avoid too much experimenting. I would always tell my patients that it will usually take 6 weeks to know whether a product is working for you. So you have to be consistent and give it a fair chance to work. Unless, of course, it's causing you allergies or adverse reactions, then you should stop it right away. And lastly, consistency is key. Consistency in using your skincare routine regularly is the key to having a good, well-maintained skin. Now, let's move on to more specifics on skin, hair, and nail care for people with psoriasis. Now, this will cover tips on how to avoid flares when you bath and shower, when you style your hair, and nail care. So let's begin with baths and showers. Psoriasis can make your skin dry, right? And easily irritated. So baths and showers, especially long hot ones, can increase dryness and irritation and cause psoriasis to flare. So to avoid this, it is recommended to limit baths to 15 minutes or less and only once a day. Use warm and not hot water every time you shower. And use a gentle, moisture-rich soap or cleanser that's made for sensitive skin. Deodorant soaps and scrubs are too harsh, so this should be avoided. Skip the loofah, buff puffs, washcloths, panghilod because these can irritate your skin and cause your psoriasis to flare. All you really need is your hands, so just wash the skin gently but thoroughly using your hands. Once you get out of the shower, pat your skin dry with a soft towel in order to leave a bit of water on your skin. So your skin should feel damp but not dry. After that, apply a fragrance-free moisturizer to all of your skin within 3 to 5 minutes to seal in the moisture. So occlusives like petroleum jelly would work best in this scenario. Next, let's go to hairstyling tips. So if you have scalp psoriasis, you know how hair care can make a difference. Scalp psoriasis makes your scalp dry and easily irritated, so you want to be gentle when you're styling your hair. Be gentle when you brush or comb because scratching or scraping your scalp with your brush or comb can cause a psoriasis flare on your scalp. We call this Kebnerization. So take care when using rollers and curling irons and limit how often you use them and avoid pulling your hair. This is actually true not only for people with scalp psoriasis, no, but for everyone in general. We really discourage use of hot tools too often. So prevent hot rollers and curling irons from touching your scalp because heat can irritate or burn your scalp and cause a psoriasis flare. Avoid tight hairstyles. Pulling too tightly on the hair can irritate the scalp and cause a psoriasis flare. And over time, this can even lead to hair loss. Coloring, perming, or relaxing your hair can boost self-esteem. Ganda, di ba? But they can also cause psoriasis to flare if you happen to develop allergies to the chemicals. So be careful. And if you need advice on what kind of hair color to use, it would be best to inquire with your dermatologist. So in general, any major procedure on the hair such as coloring, perming, blowouts should be avoided when you're in a current flare. Next, let's go to nail care. So if you have nail psoriasis, it's important to protect your nails. Anything that dries or injures a nail can worsen nail psoriasis or trigger a flare. So to help patients get the best results from treatment for nail psoriasis and reduce flare-ups, the following are recommended. First, keep your nails short. This helps prevent nails from lifting off fingers and toes. We call that onycholysis. It can also help prevent buildup under the nails or subungual hyperkeratosis, which is a common problem with psoriasis. Next, wear gloves when doing any type of manual work. This would include housework, yard work, any repairs around your house, because anytime you irritate your skin or nails, your psoriasis can flare. So when doing wet work like washing the dishes, what we often advise patients is to wear cotton gloves under rubber or nitrile gloves because just the nitrile or rubber gloves alone will not be enough to protect your nails. Next, moisturize your hands. Psoriasis dries your skin and nails, so applying a moisturizer after each hand washing and within 3 minutes of bathing can help lock in the moisture. A thick cream or ointment would work best for this. Keep your nails clean, but please leave your cuticles alone. A lot of manicuristas like to cut these things off. Cutting or pushing up your cuticles can actually injure your skin and lead to an infection. And this is true, no, even for the general population. But for people who have psoriasis, injury to your skin or any infection to your skin can cause a flare. So mas malala. And we call that, like I said, it's called the Kebner phenomenon. But even for regular people, I really advise against cutting the cuticles. Avoid biting or picking your nails. I know it's tempting, but try to resist the temptation to do this because this can also lead to injury to your skin, increase your risk of getting an infection, and can worsen your psoriasis. Like I said, resist the temptation to scrape the buildup from under the nails. These can loosen your nails and increase the risk of getting an infection. And these can be addressed with treatment gradually. So just be patient. So I don't know if it's uso dito, no, not very much, I guess, but there are people who like to put artificial nails. I would advise again yung acrylics. I don't think this is advisable, even for people who don't have psoriasis, because it can really make your nails brittle. And even more so for people with nail psoriasis who already have brittle nails. So just skip the artificial nails. You can put nail polish, or you can have your nails buffed if you want. That's a good way to hide if you're nako-conscious dun sa mga pits. That's a good way to conceal them. But artificial nails can increase the risk of brittleness. It can increase the risk of your nails separating from the bed, which is a common problem with nail psoriasis. So lastly, I always tell my patients that part of your self-care and skincare is knowing when you need to see your dermatologist. So if all else fails or when in doubt, your partners from PDS are here for you. Thank you. That concludes my lecture. Thank you for your attention.
Nice.
Hey, thank you, Doc Angeli. No? So it's very interesting and very informative.
Thank you po.
While listening to you po, we're trying to think of some questions to ask you, pero hala, nasagot na niya.
Nakakatuwa nga kasi very basic siya, pero talagang kailangan mong ma-remind ng lahat ng yun. Kasi talagang ako guilty na maraming hindi nagagawa dun sa ibang steps.
Yes, very guilty tayo, no? Like for example, yung how many times do you have to take a bath? 'Di ba kasi lalo nga yung pandemic, 'di ba? Pag sabi nga natin, once you get out, 'di ba? Syempre bago tayo lumabas, naliligo tayo, then pagdating natin sa bahay, maliligo na naman tayo. Yun pala dapat once a day lang tayo maligo. Kaya pala no wonder during one of our BMW our WWP's episodes, no, tinanong natin mga doctor, sino sa inyo ang more than once naliligo? Walang nagsasabi kasi once lang talaga sila kasi yung it dries our skin. Ayan. So, that's a reminder for all of us. Pero sabi nga namin, Doc, yan, sige doon, kasi one question na lang is, like, in relation nga dito sa yung pag-shower at least once a day lang pala dapat. Pero kasi 'di ba ngayong pandemic, 'di ba? Paano tayo syempre magdi-disinfect and everything pag dumating ka sa bahay to prevent yung syempre iwas tayo sa may mga may madala tayong mga virus or something, 'di ba, pag galing tayo sa labas. So what is the best way para disinfect or maglinis ng katawan? Kasi syempre kung hindi ka maliligo.
Okay. So yeah, I think magandang compromise po dyan kasi syempre hindi po natin maiwasan. I think a lot of those guidelines were formulated pre-pandemic pa. But syempre hindi po natin maiwasan. Kahit po ako pag lumalabas ako, gusto ko lagi parang feeling ko ang dumi ko, may nakakabit ng corona sa akin. So a good way to work around this is every time you shower, you have to make sure you apply your moisturizer. So, laging magka-partner yun, shower moisturizer. Hindi dapat mawawala siya.
And para lang sa Doc, no, sabi niyo, the best way to apply the moisturizer is while you're still in the banyo, no? Nasa banyo ka pa din. Pagka pat dry lang, then saka maglalagay na ng moisturizer.
Correct po. Parang medyo mamasama-sapa ng konti. Parang damp.
Mm-hmm.
So ideal talaga when you wipe, you don't rub, parang lang, pat dry lang, parang may konting basa pa. And then you apply your lotion kasi you know how You know how, for example, pag nagdidila ka ng lips, diba they say it makes your skin more dry. So it's almost the same, no? When you wet your skin kasi, parang nag-open yung pores, so it makes you more prone to lose water through the skin. So allowing the sealing in the water with your moisturizer really maximizes the benefit of the product and also your shower.
Okay. So, kasi dati ginagawa ko lang yun pag yung flare up lang talaga. Pero dapat daily habit pala yun.
Actually,
Pag
po, it's maintenance po talaga.
So, Doc, meron ba, sige mga co-host, no? May tanong lang ako, Doc, no? Kasi ito hindi naman nyo na-discuss kanina. So, yun lang pong kasi there are some ito actually nakita ko sa isa sa mga office mates ko, no? Kasi 'di ba ngayong pandemic, required tayo talaga na naka-face mask. So, ang nun is parang naapektuhan dito, nagkakaroon ng mga skin rashes along kung saan natatakpan ng face mask. So, what is the best way para ma-prevent yung na yon, na condition na yon?
Very inexpensive way siguro for that. I would say you can put petroleum jelly kung saan yung areas na lagi, especially if your friend is someone who works sa mga ICU, they always wear yung N95, yung talagang mahigpit sa face. Pwede pong lagyan ng petroleum yung parts kung saan laging nadidikitan para ma-lessen yung friction. Hindi kasi maiwasan hindi naman po pwedeng magtanggal, di ba? So, yun na lang, parang yun na lang yung kumbaga pang mitigate natin to lessen the friction and the irritation from yung contact with the mask. You can put petroleum on those areas. And also, if kaya, sana, pagka mukhang madumi na talaga yung mask, papalitan na po dapat yun.
Actually, Doc, yung mga yung mga disposable na nabibili natin, ano yung maximum hours na dapat yun lang ginagamit mo? Diba parang do you use it like for maximum of 2 hours then palit or ano?
Wala naman pong hard and fast rule. Depends on the type of mask also. Like for example, ang kadalasan po kasi na nababasa ko when it comes to yung mga nagkaka-rash because of PPE is yung N95 talaga, yung talagang respirator. So wala kasing rule talaga as to how long you're supposed to wear them. But the longer you wear them, the higher yung risk po to develop irritation or rash from it. So yun lang, pero wala pong recommendation as to how long you're supposed to wear them talaga. Yun lang po, parang I think they are meant as single use. So you're supposed to throw them out at the end of your shift. Pero syempre dumaan po tayo sa stage na nagkakakulangan, di ba? So ginawa ng paraan ng mga iba, yung iba pinaiinitan or ano. So, ayun, when it comes to that, wala naman pong recommended time. It's just that the longer po siyang ginagamit, mas mataas ang risk, syempre, kasi it's still occlusion.
I think ang takeaway ko nga dyan, Doc, is, di ba, parang all the more that we should remember those basic tips that you gave us to cleanse, moisturize, and protect. Kasi parang hindi na natin may iwasan lalo yung nakadikit sa face natin ng mga masks and mga duming ganyan. So all the more that we should be mindful. Anyway, Doc, thank you very much. Napakadami kong natutunan. And if you can see in the chat, ang dami rin comments na marami. It was very informative daw talaga.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. But before we let you go, Doc, we would just like to present to you this certificate of appreciation as a token of our gratitude. So thank you so much for sharing your valuable knowledge with us today. Maraming nakikinig ngayon and recorded din po ito. So marami pang makakapakinig nitong mga basic skincare tips ninyo. And yes, so thank you, Dr. Angeli, Eloise, Torres, Paulino, for being our resource speaker and for sharing your invaluable insights, experiences, and expertise with the participants of Psoriasis Patient Summit Beauty, Money, Wellness on the topic of basic skincare. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Such an honor po. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you.
Talaga, we learned a lot from your short talk, no? Sabi nga,
Yay,
short but
thank
sweet,
you.
no? Very informative.
Thank you so much po.
Thank you so much.
Our next guest speaker for this afternoon is Miss Eizza Lim de Baron, or better known as Mrs. Baron Method. Eizza is a former Mutya ng Pilipinas Tourism International 2004 and the current manager of Baron Method. She is wife to Harvey and mother of 3 kids. She is full fitness newbie who is a health and fitness lover, striving to make healthy choices for her family. A psoriasis, an APAS warrior, a chronic migraine survivor. Eizza exposes staying happy and healthy to talk about how to be beautiful inside and out. Let us welcome Eizza Lim de Baron.
Hi everyone, my name's Eizza and I'm here to talk about health, beauty, and wellness. And just a brief background, I was diagnosed with psoriasis in my late teens. It was mostly dormant, started with a small spot here and an itchy patch around my nose, and the initial diagnosis was seborrheic dermatitis. But fast forward to a couple of months or a year after, I went to another dermatologist and I was finally diagnosed with psoriasis, mainly because my dad has psoriasis and almost all of his siblings have psoriasis as well. So I've mentioned that mostly my psoriasis was dormant, but unfortunately there was a very stressful time in my life when I was joining pageants. Yes, I'm a pageant girl. And the stress was just really, really high. We would end maybe early morning and then we would have to report back early morning as well. So it was lack of sleep. I guess my immunity was down, that I had the beginning of what my worst flare-up would be. And then fast forward to when I got married and I was pregnant. Maybe it's also the stress of pregnancy. I had my worst flare-up ever, as you can see in the photo. And not just that, I also have an autoimmune disease, which affects my pregnancy. I've had 2 miscarriages. And so in the picture, you'll see dark spots on my tummy. That's where I have to inject medicine to keep my baby alive. So it was just overall so much stress for my body that I was covered with psoriasis. I had psoriasis from here down to my legs. And at that time, I remember always avoiding mirrors, wearing long sleeves, and covering up every inch of my skin, even if it was warm, because I just felt really, really bad. I felt bad about myself. And being a pageant girl, I sort of put a lot of premium on physical attributes, physical looks. And so coming from a situation where I was mainly known for having really flawless skin, really smooth, to a situation where I was covered with guttate psoriasis, it really took a toll on me mentally. And I guess I wouldn't say that I have conquered that issue mentally, but I am a work in progress and I'm learning to accept that psoriasis is part of who I am, and I'm learning to celebrate that. This is where the whole beautiful inside out mantra comes in, because no matter what you do, no matter where you go, there's always going to be someone prettier, someone taller, someone slimmer, someone with better skin, and you can't just keep relying on that for your self-worth. If you do, you're going to end up very, very disappointed. You're going to end up with maybe low self-esteem eventually. So what matters more than outward beauty, and I'm sure you've heard this a thousand times, is your personality and also your kindness. And I always say that beauty is a gateway. Again, beauty is a gateway, but personality is what makes people stay. And this is true because when you meet someone, what initially attracts you is their physical attributes. If they're pretty, if they're handsome, if there's something about them physically that attracts you. But if the personality isn't there, if the person is such a mean, hearted person, you're probably not going to stay. You're going to avoid this person because you don't want to be around someone who is negative. So yes, we put a premium on beauty, but remember what makes people stay. Remember that that thing that makes people stay is what matters. And life isn't just about having clear skin, having nice skin. It's also about keeping yourself healthy, not just mentally, but also physically. So I admonish everyone who's listening to this talk to find time for yourself. It doesn't mean that you'll spend tons and tons of money for a getaway just to have time for yourself. Finding time for yourself means taking time out on a daily basis, maybe 5 minutes out of an hour to just breathe. Just give time for you to process your thoughts, to process your emotions. You can start with that. But finding time for yourself also means taking care of your body. And that's where the exercise part and the healthy eating comes in. And I know that it's easier said than done to eat healthy, to start exercising. But remember, just as Rome wasn't built in a day, you don't have to start deadlifting and lifting 100 pounds. You can start with just walking around an open area, especially now that we are at level 2. You can start with just skipping rope. And when you feel like you have a little bit more energy, you can start lifting weights. Or in my case, I love pole dancing, and that's been my exercise of choice. It really makes me happy. So I guess you just have to find an exercise routine that makes you happy. Also, let's talk about pole, because I'm very, very passionate about pole dancing or pole fitness. And no, just because I do pole doesn't mean that I'm someone who strips. There are types of pole that are like that. But in my case, I like the artistic feel of it. I like that how a spinning pole can make me look like an ice skater or a ballerina. And I started pole about 2 years ago. And here's the funny part. With pole dancing, you can't avoid bruising and skin and muscle trauma because you use your body to grip on the pole. And every time I do pole, I end up with a bruise, which triggers another psoriasis lesion. And actually, my husband has told me many, many times before, maybe I should consider stopping pole because it's a cycle. I do pole, I get a bruise, I get psoriasis, but I'm happy. So I told him, I'll just get my body stronger and my skin used to the impact of the pole so that I won't develop any bruises anymore. Because honestly, the mental relief that I get when I get to nail a trick, when I get to finish a spinning sequence, is just immeasurable. Absolutely immeasurable. And so the endorphins and the happiness that I get also helps me cope with psoriasis. And when it comes to food, this is another thing that's easier said than done. What I've found that works for me, it might not work for you, but you can try, is that I choose my why. What does that mean? I choose why I refuse to drink that bottle of soda. I choose why I refuse to eat that pack of chips. It's not even about staying slim. It's also about, I know that if I eat some bad food, I'm gonna end up with a little flare-up, which can become a big flare-up, and I know how it's going to affect me mentally. So that's my why in choosing the right type of food to consume. So let's talk a little about what are the things that I avoid. Well, I have a list that I follow from the Baron Method website. That's baronmethod.com. So I avoid refined sugars. I avoid manufactured MSG, rather. I avoid sodium nitrates or nitrites. I avoid artificial sweeteners, artificial colors, and hydrogenated oils. So did I get rid of all of those ingredients overnight? Definitely not. So what I advise you to do is choose an ingredient and then maybe avoid it for 2 weeks to a month until it becomes a habit. Then you move on to another ingredient and then another and then another and then another. And then before you know it, you are actually a lot healthier in terms of your food choices than you were before. And last but not the least, find your perfect balance. I did mention that I say no to a lot of food, but I also have my cheat day, not cheat life, cheat day, one day, where I indulge in certain types of food that I miss. But in reality, after I eat on a cheat day, I feel so crappy that I know it's not as enjoyable as I put it in my head to be. But at the end of the day, if I can leave you with just a few words, it's always choose your why. It could be your family, it could be the financial burden of taking the meds for psoriasis, it could be because you just want to be healthier and happier. Choose why. And every time that you get tempted to not exercise, to eat the bad food, remind yourself of that why so that you can say no to the bad stuff and say yes to the stuff that can help you heal, that can keep you healthy, and eventually make you happier. Again, my name's Eizza. If you want to reach out, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Mrs. Baron Method. Feel free to send me questions, and if you're interested to see my psoriasis journey, I often post about it there, and also my exercise routines and how I eat.
All right.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon mga kabalat. How's everyone doing?
Hi, Miss Eizza. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Carol. How have you been? Hi,
All
Shea.
good,
Hi,
no?
Christopher.
So the last time we've seen each other, I think, was like the program of Sorfield, like the Lose to Win, where you were one of the coaches.
Yes. Nako, that was more than 7 years ago.
Yes. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be one of our resource persons for the BMW for 2021. Okay,
My
Chea?
pleasure.
Yes, no, I just wanted to share first and foremost, sobra akong na-convict sa madaming, a lot of the things. It's okay, no, but it was a good reminder. I was gonna say that. Kasi majority of these things, like, you kind of know it, but you kind of need to be reminded again and again that you have to choose your why. You have to go back, And so I guess my question is, like, for you personally, what's your mindset? What mindset do you have so that, like, whenever you fall off the wagon, you can easily go back, to your path, ganyan. Oo.
Well, more often than not kasi, especially when it comes to food pag kumain ako na masama talaga, the flare-up follows. Automatic yan. Alam ko na yung mga ingredients that trigger my psoriasis. And so, that's the mindset. I know that my cheat is going to be just one day. I try to eat everything that I miss in that one day. But I've conditioned myself na hindi, bukas kailangan maayos na yung pagkain ko. Kasi alam kong mas mahirap to bounce back. If I keep eating bad, my lesions are not going to heal.
Right.
Importante kasi sa akin yun na hindi lumalabas masyado yung lesions ko eh. So, yun, at the end of the day, it's really just about reminding yourself of your why. After a while, I'm just sick and tired of seeing so many spots. I'm just sick and tired of always being sick. Kaya, balik ako dun sa good eating after.
Okay, yeah. I'm listening to you and I'm like, tama naman, dapat naman talaga. Especially if it's physical, right?
Yes,
like,
yes.
if you can actually feel it and you don't just have to think about it, di ba? Pero no, that's good. Ano ba yung naging turning point mo? Nagkaroon ba ng ganyan in the past na parang ayoko na, ganyan? Did you have?
Absolutely. Actually, hindi ko rin na-share dun sa talk. Nagkaroon din ako ng period in my life na I was so dependent on topical steroids. Kasi di ba tayo as psoriasis patients, pag may lesion na, ang automatic niyan, kailangan mawala, maglalagay ng steroids. And unfortunately, and I'll admit this, there was a period that I wasn't being coached by my doctor, na it's only supposed to be used for a short period of time. And so the effect with me is I developed a skin condition na nag-totally thin out na yung parts of my skin. And as you know, that's irreversible, di ba? And so when that happened, nagmumukha siyang stretch marks, and then it's unsightly. And not just that, if your skin is thin, you're more prone to sugat, you're more prone to bruises. Na I said, okay, enough is enough. I'm not going to be dependent on topical steroids. And if I am going to use topical steroids, I have to make sure that I inform my doctor and she or he guides me kung gaano katagal lang talaga dapat gamitin yon, hindi tuloy-tuloy. And then I just started, my husband helped me start eating clean and I saw a difference. And hindi lang sa balat kahit yung psoriatic arthritis, di ba yung joints natin, pag ngayon medyo malamig na yung panahon, ayan, masakit na naman. And at my age, ayoko yung feeling ko I'm 60 when I move. Kasi masakit yung tuhod, masakit yung joints sa daliri, masakit yung ganito, masakit yung ganyan. So, it was really the turning point of not wanting to feel like I'm older than how old I really am. Na alam ko naman na may kaya pang gawin.
Wow.
It's like, like you talk about, Eizza, you talk about, sabi mo nga, you also experience psoriatic arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
So, at present, do you still experience it, considering you've done exercising, and then to think you need a good grip para sa pole dancing mo. So, how do you manage pole dancing kung meron kang psoriatic arthritis?
Yes. Yun, katulad nga nun, let's say may pole session ako after a cheat day. Hirap na hirap ako na humawak kasi nga masakit yung dito. But, funny story, kasi with Dr. Veralio, she's one of my attending physicians, nakwento ko sa kanya yan. Sabi ko, Doc, ba't masakit yung ganito ko? Ba't masakit yung ganyan ko? Baka I need to see a rheumatologist na. Baka psoriatic arthritis is getting bad. Tapos she would ask me, oh, what are you doing ba? Doc, nag-weights po ako. Doc, nag-pole po ako. Iha, hindi pa naman psoriatic arthritis yan. Masakit ang katawan mo dahil sa kaka-exercise. Okay. And true enough, like if I have a break from exercising and pole, the pain goes away naman. But yun nga, pag kumain talaga ng masama, that's one of my biggest triggers.
Oo.
Okay.
Medyo direct naman kasi yung impact no? Kaya madali rin i-remind yung sarili mo na ayoko ng ganitong pain. Oo.
Yes.
And ako rin actually, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, sobrang nakaka-inspire yung story ni Miss Eizza na tapos kanina you also mentioned na kapag yung sa topicals mo, you intended na dapat alam ng inyong mga dermatologists na nag-stop ka. So importante ito na no to self-medication. Guys, no, kailangan alam ng ating mga dermatologists yung ating mga pinapahid at ginagawa natin para lalo nating ma-manage yung ating skin condition and yung ating katawan as a physical whole, no? Thank you, Miss Eizza.
Thank you, Christopher.
Ayan.
Yes, Shreya?
Hindi, sorry. Sasabihin ko lang kanina na ganun nga. Maraming times like for me na gusto ko na magbago, gusto ko na maging healthy and all. And then I'll fall off the wagon and like it's gonna be hard again to go back on the wagon and like go back on the path. Pero maganda yung reminder din nitong talk mo. That, parang yun nga look for your why, find your why, because like you can do so much more, you can contribute so much more when you're physically active, when you're well, diba? And so siguro sa mga listeners or viewers natin ngayon, kung hindi pa kayo, yun nga so kung hindi pa kayo parang push to your limit, baka ito yung wake-up call natin na kasi sobrang inspiring. Ako na-inspire, so baka mamaya hindi ako mag-meet.
Kaya dapat everyday yan, ha? Dapat everyday commitment.
Oo nga No,
and if I may add, if you have friends who, are invested in your psoriasis journey, it's nice to have an accountability partner also. Na magre-remind sa'yo na, remember, nag-commit ka na you're going to eliminate this ingredient for 2 weeks. Kumbaga, at least may nagre-remind sa'yo, may nag-cheer sa'yo, may nagpupulis sa'yo. That's also a good thing to have. Could be your significant other, could be your children if you have children, and could be your friend. Na at least someone who's constantly reminding you to stay on the wagon.
Yes. And that's a good tip also that you gave earlier. Na it doesn't have to be cold turkey kaagad for
Yes.
everything, right? It can be sugar lang muna for the first week and then Coke Zero, guilty. Pero ganyan. So yes. Anyway, meron pa ba tayong mga ibang questions, Ate Carol?
Well, ano na lang siguro yung takeaways lang. Kanina, what struck me really dun sa statement ni Eizza kanina was yung sabi niya, beauty is a gateway but personality is what makes people stay, no? So tama nga naman, no? Talagang no matter how beautiful you are, pero if hindi maganda ang personality mo, people will stay away from you, no? Pero tingnan mo naman si Miss Eizza, beauty na, pati personality, ano na, sana all, di ba?
Yes.
Sana all.
Sana all. At saka yung ano pa, yung sabi niya, find your whys, di ba? Kaya, yun nga, sabi nga, siguro that would one thing that would motivate me. Ako personally, kasi sabi ko, yung pag-exercise, I stopped. No, parang sabi ko, find your why. Bakit you need to exercise more? Parang gano'n. And of course, sabi mo nga kanina, find time for yourself, diba?
Yes.
Kasi
Absolutely.
kung hindi ka magpa-find time for something that would really make you feel better, ay nako, siguro madidepress tayo and everything. No? Lalo na kung may flare-up ka pa. So, thank you so much, Miss Eizza, for those tips. No? Talagang we learned a lot from your talk. No? Talagang, for sure, ang ating audience, marami rin silang natutunan. Okay? So,
and thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much then.
But Ms. Eizza, before we let you go, we would like to present to you the certificate of appreciation for sharing with us yung experience and your expertise about like just being beautiful inside and out. And it's a good reminder na it's not just about your outward beauty, but your internal also. In whatever's inside of you, importante din keep healthy. Yan. Anyway, thank you again so much. And as you can see on the chat box, we have inspired so many of our viewers.
Thank you guys and have a good rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe. All right. Okay. Ayan, mga friends. Ang dami na nating natututunan. Isang part pa lang yan ng ating first part pa lang yan ng ating BMW Day Today. So we are now going into the second part, which is all about money.
Money!
Yes. So
Money,
tapos na tayo
money.
sa beauty. Ngayon,
Oo, nakakantaan ko rin sa ano, di ba? Money, money, money.
Money.
Lots of money. Ayan. And ang huhusay din at ang gaganda rin ng topics natin ngayon. Huhusay ng guest speakers at ang gaganda ng topics natin for this section. Kaya please magstay kayo and mag-invite pa kayo ng ibang mga kasama nyo to join. And also, don't forget to, change your names to show your SOAR chapter. Ano pa bang mga reminders natin sa kanila? May raffle pa tayo mamaya. Ayan, may mga
yes, so stay on until the end, no, para sa ating mga announcement of winners at saka yung syempre meron tayong mga i-announce na mga special awards din.
Yes. Okay, so introduce ko na yung next guest speaker natin.
Go, Chea.
Yes. So our next guest speaker will be talking to us all about starting a business. He is currently the Chief Trade and Industry Development Specialist at the Bureau of Small and Medium Enterprise Development of BPI Philippines. Our speaker has years of exposure in government programs and projects promoting micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises or yung mga tinatawag na MSMEs. Yes, he is an international speaker and the registered trainer of the Philippine Training Center for UP Institute for Small Scale Industries and the Philippine Safety Network Foundation. He holds a master's in development management degree from Development Academy of the Philippines, and he has passed the comprehensive examination on Masters in Business Administration from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Graduate School. So as you can see from this long list of accolades and yung mga credentials, we are very privileged to have with us today a real expert who will talk to us about how to start our own business. Please welcome Mr. Edwin Pasahol.
All right. Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, Edwin.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And yes, thank you for inviting DTI BSMed, no, Bureau of SMA Development. And of course, magandang hapon po sa ating 76,000. Nakita ko rito sa ating 76,000 na participants, no, sa ating session. So please allow me to share my screen first, no, para maganda yung ating usapan. Medyo na kasi yung binigyan yung topic sa akin is starting a business. And you know what? Kasi pag pinag-uusapan ng negosyo, alam naman natin, ay 4 na taon dito sa kolehiyo, di ba? And yet, we are here to discuss about starting a business for 20 minutes, no? Grabe ang challenge na binibigay nyo sa akin, ha? Pero okay lang yan. At least, mabilis naman ako magsalita and I will share siguro sa inyo na the best way I could, the practical approaches in starting a business. So let me proceed, no, as we go on with my topic, starting a business. And these are the topics that I prepared for you. Since na kayo sa boses ko, no? Medyo malat, pero I hope you can hear me well. Yan. These are the topics that I prepared for you for 20 minutes, no? Another why that I'm going to share with you is why nga ba pag dinegosyo, no? So this would answer the why question of going into business. Bakit pag dinegosyo, marami naman tayong pwedeng gawin, di ba? And we call it pre-investment evaluation. And then of course, the other thing that you can see here is the when naman, no? Kailan ka napapanahon na magnegosyo? And here I'm going to share the stages of life and the strong entrepreneurial foundation. And the other questions of how, what, and where. These are the usual questions, no? Sa pag-negosyo at natatanong palagi sa amin sa DTI, paano magnegosyo, anong negosyo, saan ka magnegosyo. medyo mga tanong na kapag ka sinagot mo, ay kumbaga parang madali. No? But as we go on, ay makikita natin, medyo mahirap pala, no? Kasi parang this would, mga nagtatanong sa akin kung ang pag-negosyo ba ay ano maganda. Yan ang karaniwang tinatanong kung maganda, parang ayaw kong sabihin, no? Parang ako na lang magtatayo. So hindi ganun kadali, no? So dito sa ating business development cycle, I'm going to share with you yung paano ba talaga ang dapat na ideal way of starting the business. Kasi as you can see, there are many ways, no, to start a business. Like for example, yung iba nagre-register na, yung iba nag-hire na ng tao. The other are starting to do products and doing their services. The others are renovating their sites or their place, di ba? So lahat yun may gasto. So ano ba talaga? Pagka nagsama lahat dyan, puro gastos ka agad dyan, di ba? So with the business development cycle, I will share with you the ideal way of structured way of starting the business para hindi tayo strike anywhere, ano. And then of course, if I still have time, the government initiatives at a glance na ipapakita ko rin sa inyo so that you can avail of the assistance and the services that are being offered by our government agencies. And then we will have our question and answer portion. All right? Okay. So with that, let me proceed with the why. Another why. Now, bakit nga ba pag dinegosyo? And I'd like to bring you back to the age or to the time wherein tinatanong kayo ng mga mothers and fathers ninyo, ano ba talaga ang plano mo sa buhay o anong gusto mo maging, di ba? So again, sa life planning, kung babalikan natin, our simple dream, talaga naman ang sukatan ng araw, to become successful, ang pamantayan is magkaroon ka ng di ba, yung mga bagay na meron tayo sa buhay. And of course, pag tinanong, anong gusto mo magkaroon? Siyempre, sabihin nila, gusto ko magkaroon ng bahay. Isa kompletong bahay would worth around 2 million, di ba? May garahe, may salas, may dining, etc. Kompleto. Isang townhouse, siguro conservative estimate, you can have at 2 million pesos. And then dream car, siyempre, pampamilya, no, yung uso ngayon. Hindi kotse. SUV, which is around siguro mga 1.5 million. So 2 plus 1.5, nasa 3.5 na tayo, no? And of course, nung tayo medyo bata-bata pa, gusto rin natin magkaroon ng family, di ba? At pag nagkaroon ka ng asawa, magkakaroon ka ng anak, pag-aaralin, so budget for education din, magkakaroon ka sa mga 2 million. So 2 plus 1.5, 5.5 na po ang ating simple dream. And of course, our dream of vacation pa rin, di ba? Kasi sabi nga nila, this is the best way to learn, you keep on traveling, experiencing new things, new food, new places, di ba? So we allot time and resources to travel. No, kung hindi man sa ibang bansa is because ay pwede din dito sa sa ating mga kalapit na lugar o mga tourist spots natin dito sa bansa So magkano na ating simple dream? By the way, pwede kayong sumagot niyan po sa ating chat box You can type your answers as I am throwing questions and I can see it naman kasi I'm using two devices dito to accommodate if you have some questions and sabi na popping up your minds yung mga thoughts na dyan dito nyo ilagay sa ating chat box and I will see it later. So magkano natin simple dream? 2 plus 2 plus 1.5 plus 0.5. Ayan, sige. Sabi nila, pag ikaw nagtanong at ikaw ang speaker, ikaw din ang sasagot. Di ba? So, 6 million. 6 million daw ang simple dream natin. So, ating babalikan. Yun ang mga gusto natin sa buhay ng araw, di ba? At hanggang ngayon, ay malamang ito pa rin ang gusto ng mga karamihan sa atin. At since ito ay pangarap, ay dapat siguro ay gumising tayo. At ang realidad, kung tayo ay mamamasukan, which is one source of income is employment, at mamasukan ka lang, perhaps this will be the consequences or the realization natin na halimbawa kung ikaw ay mamasukan at mag-start ka sa umpisa ng basic or minimum wage. Magkano bang minimum wage natin? 500? 500 plus. So, papalagay natin 500 para madali mag-compute. 500 times 30 days o di 15,000. Para madali mag-compute, gawin natin 10,000. Ito na nakasulat 10,000 month times 12 months in a year, 120,000. So ito maganda rito. Bago ka makakuha ng 6 million, you will need 50 years. Di ba? 50 taon. Wow. So kung ikaw ay 50 years old na ngayon, plus 50 years, so 100 years old ka na. Mukhang mahirapan na tayo maglakbay-lakbay niyan. At saka baka hindi ka na rin makapag-asawa niyan. So siguro, sabi mo sana masyadong conservative yan. Ang income mo na 10,000. So palagay natin 40,000 kasi nakalagay dyan sa screen ninyo. Yan ang mga graveyard shift salary ngayon mga especially ng ating mga ng ating mga nandiyan sa call centers, di ba? So 40,000 times 12 months in a year, 480,000. So instead of 50 years, you will need only 12.5 years, di ba? So 12.5 years. Kaya lang mga kasama, ito ay sinasabi natin, yung ating 40,000 should be net, di ba? Hindi ka kakain, walang gastos. Hindi ka mag-travel, hindi ka magkakasakit, di ba? Walang taxes and everything. So, madaling salita, neto siya na matatanggap mo ng 40,000 naman. So, ladies and gentlemen, kaya ako pinapakita ito, this is one of the realization natin. Na kung saan, mapapatunayan natin na kung magre-resort lang tayo to employment, most likely, hindi natin makuha natin mga simple dreams natin in the near future or a given period of time na madalian. That is why marami empleyado tumanda na nag-retire na hindi pa rin kumpleto yung mga gusto matamo sa buhay, di ba? So, kung tatanungin ko kayo ngayon, other than employment, what are the other sources of income or possible sources of earnings or pagkakitaan, di ba? Hindi enough ang pagiging employed lamang. Tama yan. Oo, hindi enough. So, ano pa pwede natin gawin para kumita? Sige, tanong natin kayo. Ano yung pwedeng sabihin o pagkakitaan natin, gawin para pagkakitaan o kumita? Maliban sa pagbibusiness kasi yun ang topic ko. Investments sa stocks. Yan. Tama, mag-invest. Maganda ba yan? Yes. Maganda mag-invest kung may pang-invest, di ba? And the more you invest, the higher the premium. But that requires a given period of time as well, di ba? You have to wait. Bago makuha yung premium, siguro mga 20 years din. So, passive income. Medyo passive din ako mag-isip dyan kung ano ibig sabihin ng passive income. Online business. Sabi ko, huwag mo na business yun ang topic ko. Ano pa? Mag-save ka ng money. Paano ka mag-save kung wala kang kita? Ang tanong ko, paano ka ano pa yung pwede pagkakitaan? Maghintay ng mana. Yan, very good. Nababanggit palagi yan, inheritance. O, maganda yan. No? Kaya lang, you have to wait. Again, hintay mo nang mamatay, di ba? Parang napakahirap naman nun. At saka At saka mahirap naman yun. Parang hindi mo pinagkakataan na antay-antay mo, di ba? Walang dignidad doon Walang feeling of success. Cryptocurrencies. Oh, okay yan. Parang yan, nauuso ngayon yan, pero uncertainties pa din, Axie. Yung mga games na Axie. Mag-asawa ng rich. Insurance. Stocks. Wow. Alright. Ano pa? Pagkakitaan yung sarili. Yung skills mo that you can offer, tapos they'll pay you for it. Parang bibenta mo na yung sarili mo na. Anyway, yung iba sinasabi, farming, di ba? Farming now, maganda rin. Maganda yung farming. Kasi agribusiness na pwede pagkakitaan talaga yung lupa, Pero maganda rin yan kung may lupa, di ba? kung may lupa kang sasakahin, di ba? Yung iba naman ay nag-abroad, di ba? OFW. Yung iba naman ay tumataya sa mga sa mga loto, tumataya sa mga sa mga lotteries at saka yung gambling, they resort to gambling. But they are sabi nga game of chances ito, we are not sure. Tapos yung naman yung sa mga sa loto or yung mga natin lotteries, 6 combinations na yun, di ba? 6 numbers to 1 combination, 6 numbers. Yung yung wedding, kung alam niyo 2 numero lang yun eh. Ang hirap tamaan yung pang-anim, di ba? Sabi nga nila is mahirap tamaan talaga yung yung jackpot, Mas madali daw ko tamaan ng kidlat kaysa tamaan mo yung jackpot. Ano pa sabi nito? MP2. Ano yan? Pag-ibig. Yes, but skills and talent, not literally yourself. Alright. O sige. Ano pa naisip natin na pagkakitaan? Medyo mahirap, Di ba? Yung iba nag-abroad, pero balik rin ang balik kasi that's another form of employment. And given your age, you have to compete as well with the young ones. Mag-upgrade ka ng skills mo. Kasi mamaya hindi rin yung mga skills na kinukuha kasi sa abroad ay yung mga talagang ngayon, di ba? Yung alam natin nasa medical, nasa ano pa yung mga nakapaskil dyan sa mga dyaryo, tubero, welders, kung ano-ano mga skills, di ba? Anyway, so kung tutusin, mahirap talaga, Mahirap talaga yung mga mag-isip ng pagkakitaan. Kung yung iba nagre-resort na to illegal means, yung mga wala nang naiisip na legal na paraan. Even the professionals can think of that way, na nakakaisip rin ng mga illegal. Pero siyempre hindi tayo doon, So, kung tutusin, yung sa mga dami nating nabanggit na sources of income o pagkakitaan, ang nakikita lang natin na talagang dapat nating advocate is pagninegosyo, di ba? Wala kayo ibang pwedeng gawin eh. Di ba? Yun lang. This is the only thing that we can do kahit hindi mataas sa pinag-aralan mo, kahit ikaw ay hindi tawag natin dito, kahit may edad ka na, di ba? O retired ka na, kahit may sakit nga, basta kaya mo pag gumalaw, nakapag-negosyo pa di ba? Hindi mo rin kailangan maging magaling magsalita o di kaya magaling sinumero, di ba? Pwede kang magnegosyo. Yan. So, kaya this is one of the thing that we can do lang at saka we always advocate is to do business, di ba? Talagang pag-negosyo and even tingnan mo yung mga kamag-anak mo, kaibigan, na kahit maliit lang negosyo, they're able to survive, diba? Kahit magawa nila, kung tutusin sila pa nga rin yung nakakapagpagawa ng mga bahay, nakakabili ng mga sasakyan, kahit maliit na negosyo, diba? They're able to buy things that they want kahit maliit lang yung negosyo. O may nagsabi, pumunta ka daw o pumasok ka sa politika. Hindi na bago yan, di ba? Alam naman natin, objective naman yan di ba? Anyway, but it requires both from the people, gastos ka pa din. So anyway, pag-business ang gusto ko natin i-advocate, kasi this is the only thing that we can do. Madaling gawin at that would not require much of resources, depende naman sa negosyo na papasukan niya, But meron akong pa-share pa dito, nakalagay po dito is shrink dream to fit the size of income. Ito yung para sa mga taong wala ng kumaga kontento na sa buhay, yung ganyan, dito na ako, ganito lang ang kaya ko may ganun tao kontento na masyado. So hindi yan kahit pipilitin, nakalagay diyan is sabi niya, shrink the dream to fit the size of income. Kung ito lang tinatanggap mo, bahala na, yan na lang, di ba? So parang mo na sinabi, pwede ka na magpagbahay, pwede ka na mangupahan, pwede ka na magsakya, pwede ka na mag-commute, di ba? Pwede ka na rin mag-asawa, huwag ka magpamilya para hindi ka mag-anak at wala kang pag-aralin. Diba? At pwede mo ka na rin magpasyal, diyan ka na lang. Di ba? Huwag mo nang alamin yung mga different cultures, different kinds of food, di ba? Pabayaan mo na, ganyan. So, yun yung mga taong ganun, di ba? Meron din nagsasabi, you can challenge yourself to grow, make a change, increase income to fit the size of your dreams. Di ba? Ito yung mga sasabi na sige, palakihin ko pa nga yung aking kita para magawa ko yung aking mga pinapangarap, di ba? So kung ikaw yung number 1 or number 2, I leave it to you, di ba? The challenge is for you again. Okay? Now, the stages of life, ito, medyo represent ko to kasi mahaba pa yung aking discussion. These are the stages of life: 18 to 22 single, 20 to 30 young married, 31 to 42 nagpapakasal ng iba or young family, 43 to 50 nagkukulahin ng mga bata, and then 50 plus empty nesters na tawag na sa atin kasi sila naman yung ating sila naman nag-aasawa at iniiwanan naman yung mga magulang. And 60 plus, ito na yung mga sabi nila dual citizenship na to, no? Retired at saka mga senior citizens na. So, binibigay ko lang ito sa inyo for you to to answer the question of at what stage you're in at saka napapanahon pa ba na ikaw ay mag-business sa edad na ito, no? Kung saan stage ka. Or at what stage do you think is the right stage for you to start business? So yung sa mga estudyante ko, sabi nila, dito kami sir sa sa kabataan pa, no? Para we can learn from our mistakes at saka mapagbuti pa namin yung business namin. Sabi naman ng iba, dito sila sa retirement age kasi they have the time, they have the network already, they have the resources, mga pensionado na. So talagang they can focus more on their business, And yung iba naman dito, while they are still healthy, strong, dito sa edad na middle age. So ito, youth age, middle age, tapos ito yung final stage, yung 50 plus onwards. Ngayon, there are challenges also on different stages. Like kung ikaw ay bata pa, syempre ang challenge mo dyan ay resources. Mostly, mga estudyante pa yan at saka career is not really that strong pa. And resources is challenge. They have the energy, sabi nga, they have the energy, they have the time, but they don't have money. Di ba? Sa middle stage, 31 to 50, ay baligtad. They have the money kasi they have the career also, as well. They have the energy pa rin, but they don't have time. Di ba? Masyado silang busy, building family, building career, kaya walang time para mag-business. Ito naman sa final stage, so also iba naman ang kanyang challenge. Like sabi nila, they have the time nga, bagay ko kanina kasi na sila, retired na. They have the networks already. They have the resources, di ba, mga pensionado na yan. Pero in terms of energy, medyo mahina na, di ba? Hindi naman pwede sabihin na wala energy, mahina na. So sabi nila, they want to spend their life stress-free. Ganun. Di na sila mag-business. But still, those are just challenges, and I am presenting. Kaya lang, it's for you to find out kung talagang interested ka mag-business, you have to give solutions to those challenges. Like for example, dito sa mga kabataan, binabagit yan, challenge natin dyan is wala masyadong resources. But nowadays, the youth have resources. In fact, they have the best business concept. And they can get resources from their parents and from the business pitchings na pwede lang gawin. And they can find, sabi nga angelpreneurs ngayon can be partner. And then sa middle stage naman, which I have presented the challenge of time is because sabi lang dito ay wala siyang masyadong oras, but still it's a matter of time management kasi pare-pareho naman ang oras natin, di ba? We have 24 hours in a day. Baka lang talaga ang time mo, like for example, di ba, matutulog ka 8 to 10 hours pa adult ka na, di ba? 10 oras ka pa matulog para kang adult, para kang sanggol, di ba? Di ba? And then of course yung iba makain ka ng mostly Filipinos, breakfast, snack, lunch, then snack, then dinner, snack up to midnight, next snack. So can you imagine how much time are you allotting for that? And of course the transport, which is taking much time because of the traffic as well. So that the answer to that is an inventory of time, so that you can allocate really kung talagang interested ka mag-negosyo. And then of course dito sa ating final stage naman ay sabi natin energy is the challenge. Well, not all, kasi nga kung titingnan mo yung mga business tycoons natin, kung nandito karamihan di ba? Yung mga nasa 60 plus, mga retired age, they can focus more kasi wala na masyadong kumbaga all their energies kahit mahina na ay talaga nakapokus doon sa kanilang negosyo, and they have the networks, di ba, as well during this time, and the resources. So yeah, it's for you to find your challenge kung saan stage kayo. At the same time, how are you going to respond to those challenges that you have, that you will be encountering at this stage, different stages. So these are the strong entrepreneurial foundations naman na binibigay ko sa inyo ngayon during this slide before investing or starting a business. Health pa rin is the number one, di ba? Health is wealth. Kayamanan ang kalusugan. And then of course, second is protection. Protect what you have. Kung wala kang merong resources masyado, then at least protect your health kasi nga, yan ang number one natin, yaman. Elimination of debts, wala na dapat pagkakautang. Medyo mahirap sa atin yan kasi marami tayong loan facilities ngayon, And alam natin, ito nagiging sagot minsan talaga sa ating mga pangailangan, mangutang, di ba? Emergency funds as well, ito ay kailangan na ito kasi alam natin na talaga nasa tayo ngayon, sa panahon tayo ng hindi lang disaster, pandemya. So talaga pag wala ka nakatago na yan, ay parang yung tawag natin dyan, mahirap na makabawi kapag tinamaan ka, di ba? So, this makes sense before you invest or before you do business. Kasi kahit anong ganda ng negosyo mo, kapag pangit ang kalusugan, pwedeng panggamot lang mapupunta yan, di ba? O kaya hospitalization or sementeryo, di ba? Kahit anong ganda ng business pero walang protection, pwede ka manakawan, pwede ka mawalan, pwede hindi ka makabawi. Ganun din sa pagka maraming utang, pambayad lang, di ba? Para ka nang nagnegosyo para pambayad utang. Kung wala ka namang pondong for emergency, kahit anong ganda ng kita mo or ganda ng negosyo, pwede kang tamaan at pwede hindi ka na makabangon. So it makes sense to consider all of these factors before starting a business or before investing your money. And these are some facts and figures that I'm presenting to you now. Philippine populations, medyo marami na tayo. According to Worldometer, 111,732,445 today, di ba? And every minute it's counting. It's getting bigger. And this could be sa ibang tao, kung tatanungin mo kung maganda ba ito or hindi, sabihin nila ay hindi yun maganda because sabi nila scarcity, poverty, pagkakulang, etc. But ang gusto ko sabihin is have the mindset of an entrepreneur, di ba? Of a business person. Kasi sila, tanungin mo sila kung problema ba kayo kung malaki ang population ng Pilipinas. Of course not, di ba? Mas gusto nila yan. Bakit? Kasi marami kang pagkakitaan, marami kang kliyente, marami kang customer, di ba? Marami kang workforce, available workforce. Pero linisin ko na rin sa kaliwa dyan, yung unemployment and underemployment, hindi mauubos yan. Palagi may problema yan, lahat ng bansa. Which is a good thing as well. Di ba? Kung ikaw ay negosyante kasi may available workers palagi. Di ba? So, ang gusto ko sabihin dyan is we have to maintain the positive mindset. Kasi yun ang maganda sa mga negosyante, sa mga entrepreneur. They see opportunity in every difficulty. And they find, they dwell more on the solutions rather than the problem. Di ba? So, yung mga ordinaryong tao, puro so, yeah. But in us, DTI, this is the most discouraging on our end kasi 1% lang ang mga bilang ng mga negosyante sa bansa. Di ba? So, can you imagine what is 1% of 111 million na nagdinegosyo? Di ba? So, kung tatanungin, may personal opinion, 1%, dito nang gagaling yung ating mga taxes, di ba, sa mga negosyo. Di ba? Tapos sa mga workforce, dito rin. Sila din nagbibigay ng trabaho. So, kung pagkakunti negosyo, paano unlad yung bansa natin, di ba? O paano unlad yung ating paano tayo magkakaroon ng sagot din sa mga unemployment. So, yan, I have the exact figures of that just to give you overview of Philippine SMEs. Yan po, pag micro, 3 million ang asset size mo, small ay hanggang 15 million at medium naman ay hanggang 100 million. Magandang malaman ito kasi pag kayo ay negosyante, tinanong ka anong size mo, madali mo naman sasagot kasi meron ba siya based doon sa ating Magna Carta for MSMEs. Yung 6977 natin na batas. Yan ang classification ng MSMEs po. And they are helping us, the Philippine MSMEs at a glance, economically, they are the backbone of the economy, contributing to employment, value adding at saka business establishment as well as yung mga sectoral distributions natin. Anong pinakamarami? Yung wholesale and retail trade, accommodation, and then followed by manufacturing. Yung 1% na binanggit ko kanina is only, kung tutusin, wala pang 1%. Only 957,620 ang bilang ng mga negosyante sa bansa. Di ba? So magtataka kayo, bakit yan lang? Marami kayo nakikita dyan negosyo, pero alam nyo na, hindi naman rehistrado. So we cannot count them. So these are the legit business establishments according to PSA, Philippine Statistics Authority, that are according to their survey. Now, as I mentioned, they are contributing, kahit maliliit yung ating mga negosyo, contributing to employment sila, 62.66%. At saan sila karamihan nandoon? Nasa National Capital Region, followed by Calabar Zone, Central Luzon, Central Visayas, and Western Visayas. Kaya huwag na kayo magtaka bakit matraffic, Kasi talaga nandiyan sa NCR ang karamihan ng negosyo where people are coming in and out, Alright. It's good to know the role and importance of MSMEs kung kayo ay mag-negosyo kasi you are creating employment, you use indigenous resources, and you are part of the chain natin yung backward and forward linkages as well as yung rural development and decentralization of industries. And of course, entrepreneurial development. On this slide now is the meat of our discussion ngayon, how to start now or grow the business para sa mga may negosyo naman dyan. Paano ka mag-grow, andun naman sa wala pa, paano mag-start ng business. Always, sinasabi natin na we start with a vision, ano ang plano mo? At that is supported by a goal, which is alam natin yan, by SMART principle, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded. Kasi wala naman talagang shortcut to success, di ba? Kahit sa pagnegosyo. So, paano ka mag-start? Huwag ka muna magagastos ng maggastos. Follow this simple step, no? Simple steps. Number 1 is magkaroon ka ng self-awareness, internal and external, no? Ano yung mga awareness na gagawin mo? Ano yung mga resources mo? Ano yung mga competencies mo? Ano yung kaya mong gawin? Ano yung hobbies mo, interest mo? Lahat ng pansarili, no? Self-awareness. Maaari ilista mo lahat eh. Di ba? Para parang punta ka sa next step, project matching or business identification. Yung sinasabi namin na matching person with the business. I-match mo ngayon yung sarili mo doon sa negosyo na isip mo. Di ba? Kung dito sa self-awareness mo, ay nakita mo na magaling ka magluto, ay baka match sa'yo ay restaurant, catering, or eatery, anything related sa food, pagnegosyo ng food. Kung magaling kang manahe, di ba? Kung sastre or tailoring shop, kung magaling ka sa mga beauty products, so baka po pwedeng doon din ang linya mo, di ba? So, mahalaga ito na hindi ka dapat nakikusyo lang kung ano yung nakikita mo na negosyo sa merkado o itinatayo. Maganda yung matching, no? Akma yung business doon sa tao. Kasi iba-iba ang ating specialization, iba-iba ang ating competency. So, pangatlong step niyan is do a business plan. Isulat mo lahat kasi hindi mo lahat matatandaan yan. Na kung saan, may template naman yan. No? Anything related sa pagmamerkado, marketing, sa paggawa mo ng produkto o serbisyo, anything na may kinalaman sa iyong organization and management at saka sa financial, lahat po yun isinusulat at kinukumpay, no? Para meron ka laging reference. And then of course, pag may plano ka na, dito ka palang magsisecure ng fund paano ka mag-start ng negosyo, no? Either formal or informal source. Kasi gumawa ka ng plano, makikita mo na ngayon yung total cost. So marami nag-uumpisa na negosyo. Magtatayo, hindi alam magkano ang investment cost or ang business cost, no? Patatayo ng negosyo. Ano ba, gusto magtayo ng isang laundry shop. Meron lang siyang 50,000. Sabi niya, pwede na to. Baka isang makina lang yun, di ba? So kasi hindi mo makikita yung total requirement ng isang negosyo pag hindi ka gumawa ng business plan. Di ba? Ganun din, pag pumunta ka ng bangko, mangungutang ka, saan mo gagamitin? Halimbawa, umutang ka ng 1 milyon, saan mo gagamitin 1 milyon? Baka hindi mo masagot yon kasi wala kang plano eh. So yun ang fund sourcing, kailangan meron kang plano so that you can always refer to saan gagamitin yung ating natatagong pondo or makukuha ang pondo. Ngayon, pag may pondo ka na, dito ka pala mag-implement, no? Mag-establish or mag-start ang business where you exercise supervision control kasi gumawa ka ng plano. Diba? And then finally, you do some evaluation to know whether the business is profiting or losing. Ito yung lagi nakakalimutan ng ating mga micro businesses na wala silang record. Diba? Kapag tinanong mo kung kumikita ba or hindi, they cannot answer yes or no. Diba? Sinasabi, dyan kami kumukuha ng pang-ulam, ng aming pang-aral ng mga bata, pagtongit ni Mr. etc. Kasi, di ba, wala silang record. Di ba? Na kung saan, simple lang, cash in, cash out lang, mga ganon. There you have it. Now, if the business is profiting or losing, doon mo tayo sa losing. If the business is losing, normally ang ginagawa nila, sinasara, binibenta, nagpapalit, yung iba, nakiki-merge, di ba? The rest naman ay, may sumagot pa nga nagpapakamatay para to sa insurance, kaya sinusunog para sa insurance. Di ba? So, sabi ko, wag mo na gawin yun. Kapag if the business is losing, siguro ang pwede mong gawin is to go back, di ba? Huwag kang magsasara kasi hindi ka na makakabawi. Huwag ka rin muna magpapalit kasi additional resources yon. Maganda yun kung marami kang pera. Huwag ka rin muna mangutang pa kasi mahirap mangutang, lalo na kung nalulugi, di ba? Yung iba naman nakikipartner, pwede mong gawin yan kasi ultimately in the future kasi pag nakiki-merge ka, nawawala na sa picture yung negosyo. Ang nagsusurvive yung or ang nakikilala yun ang yung mas malaki ang di ba? Mas malaki ang resources. So go back. Huwag ka muna magsara, go back. Baka may pagkakamali ka sa awareness mo. Baka kulang ka pa sa pag-aaral, sa mga kasanayan, di ba? Sa mga anything related sa pagnenegosyo mo. Then balikan mo rin yung matching or business mo. Baka hindi talaga match, di ba? Baka mamaya sabihin mo magaling kang magluto, nag-umpisa ka ng restaurant, yung pala mas magaling kang maglaba. Dapat ay laundry shop ang iyong in-start. So matching, mismatch pala talaga yung negosyo. And then yung business plan, baka mamaya dito ka may pagkakamali kaya ka nalulugi. Kumuha ka ng plano pero wala ka naman palang talagang research man lang o data gathering na ginawa or scouting of suppliers. anything na ginawa mo sa plano ay estimates, assumptions, di ba? So may mali sa plano pa lang. Sourcing, ganun din, baka mamaya dito nakatali ka no, sa ating mga utang. Marami kasi nag-start ng utang eh. Pero kung tatanungin, huwag ka mag-start ng utang kasi bayarin mo kaagad yun eh. Di ba? Lalo na kung startup. So baka dito ka nagkakamali, no? And then of course, implementation, balikan mo rin yan. Baka dito ang cost ng loss kasi gumawa ka ng plano, pero sa implementation hindi nagagawa no, sa actual. Di ba? And then finally, go back sa evaluation, baka naman dito may pagkakamali, kaya ka nalulugis because bakit ganoon? May benta ka naman, nawawala. Nakakagawa ka ng product naman, nawawala din. So there are two main culprits in business, di ba? Kupit and puslit. Alam niyo yan, di ba? There are two main culprits in business, kupit and puslit. Alam ng kahit malaki at maliit na negosyo yan. So kapag ka-profiting ng business mo, ganun din ang gagawin mo. Go back with the self-awareness. Kasi dito, baka may mga added competencies na pwede mong ma-apply sa matching person with the business naman, sa baka may mga business expansions ka na pwedeng gawin o diversification. Di ba? Product lines expansion. Business planning, gagawa ka pa rin ng plano. Business improvement plan na ang gagawin mo. Kapag kumikita ka na. Fund sourcing, mas magagawa ka ng mas makakakuha ka ng fund source sa mga legitimate natin finance institutions kasi kumikita ka na track record na ang inano nila ang tinitingnan sa iyo. So implementation, you can hire supervisors, managers para hindi ka lahat ang gagawa. At kapag kumikita ka na naman, you can hire a record keeper, man lang bookkeeper or accountant so that financial statements mo ay formalized, no? Hindi ka nawawalan at hindi ka nakukupitan. Di ba? Up to the last cents. Kasi alam natin, libro hindi pwedeng isara pagkakulang or hindi mo makuha yung isang sentavo. Nawawala isang sentavo. Okay? So, ultimately, this is I call business development cycle. And I think this is also the secret of natin ng mga tycoons. They were able to perfect their system. Di ba? Para kahit mawala na sila, they were able to sustain the business kasi alam ng ating mga ng next generation nila. They were able to do a plan and perfect their system from time to time. Okay? Now, entrepreneur dyan, just tell me if I still have time. Say opportunity, itong ating definition, very simple. Maraming definition, but this one is my favorite. One who can see the opportunity, who can make things happen, and do everything not in the ordinary course routine, yung hindi nagagaya. So, Tagalogin natin, nakakita ng pagkakataon, sinasakatuparan, at hindi nagagaya. Okay? So, I think this is the difference pa rin ng ating tinatawag na typical business person versus entrepreneur. Kasi business person can have money. They can just go get a franchise dyan na wala na mag-isip-isip ng kahit di ba? Ng system nila. But an entrepreneur can see from scratch, di ba? Yeah. And these are the reasons now why people go into business pa rin through entrepreneurship. They seek purpose or they have purpose. They want to seize the opportunity. Yung iba naman, they tend to be innovative at saka they want to give solutions to the problem. And yung naman, they are just too passionate about what they are doing. So, kaya sila ay maghabi-habi, pagkakitaan din. Okay? And then of course, sabi ni Peter Drucker dyan, entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art, it is a practice. At saka always search for change, sabi niya, respond to it and exploit it as an opportunity. Right? So entrepreneurship, may definition niya, iba dyan, but ito lang simple, ito sa graphics yung tingnan nyo. Idea, search my idea, or plan, and then you do it. And of course, find the rewards of going to business. Kasi kung hindi nyo nakikita yan, mahirap pag-umpisa nang hindi nakikita yung magiging reward, di ba? And also the risk. Yan. Nandiyan naman po yung mga rewards natin like unlimited opportunity, you can be the boss, you can express your creativity, you can help other people, and of course, you can build a legacy. And these are still some of the reasons why people start the business. Medyo marami po. Sabi sa inyo, marami tayong pag-uusapan pagdating sa pagnenegosyo eh. But sa akin lang, find your reward. Ano ba talaga ang magiging reward nito kapag ginawa mo yung negosyo? Ito naman sa why people do not go into business. It's because may mga risk and trials sila nakikita. Find your risk, find the trials that is na nakikita mo. And find answer to that. Kasi kapag ayaw talaga, sabi niyo, dahilan yon. Pag gusto, paraan, di ba? Yun ang palagi natin naririnig. Okay? So yan, there are different competencies pa din of entrepreneur, sabi nila, or required to be successful in business. Ito mga to, there are 10 competencies. And pwede kong isa-isa sa inyo, kailang given the time, meron kami pamaraan dyan para malaman kung kayo ay anong level ng competency na meron kayo niyan. Para maging successful in business. Yan, para maging ganyan pa, makikita niyo yung rate na kung saan kayo mataas, saan kayo mababa, and you can improve on the competency level na po pwede kayong magamit, pwede niyo magamit. You can do this tool also, yung evaluation of resources, liabilities, and equity, para later on, you will have your own formula of capital, of making capital, di ba? Yung iba kasi nangungutang, pandagdag capital. Yung iba naman ay ayaw mangutang, binabawas sila lahat ng utang, tapos start from their own, what they have na resources. And these are the business options. Yan. Medyo na to, no? Alam nyo na to, can be producer, services, subcon, process, franchise, dealership, or agribusiness. O pwede kayong pumili kung saan yung inyong forte. Ayan. Other example pa rin ng mga business sectors. Yan. Marami akong kwento rito kaya lang kulang ang oras natin, ano? But you can venture in the different sectors. You can start from ideation. Anong po pwedeng pasukin negosyo? Actually, there are over 100 business ideas na po pwedeng i-match ninyo sa inyo. Ito na, finally, itong ating mga government initiatives for SMEs. Meron tayong 7Ms na tinatawag, ano, para ma-improve yung yung ating MSMEs, no? Like improve yung climate. Meron tayong access to finance, sa mga capacity building natin. Meron din tayong access sa mga technology and innovation at saka sa market. So saan kayo po pwede dito, maka-avail ng mga assistance, mga different programs natin, like halimbawa, ito, pakita ko sa inyo yan, negosyo centers. You can register now sa negosyo centers. We have 2,478 negosyo centers nationwide. Dito sa NCR, we have 16. Pwede na kayo magparehistro dyan, pwede kayo magpa-counsel dyan sa ating business counselors. And mag-avail ng mga assistance na may mga seminars din po dyan na binibigay. Mentor Me program, may mga negosyo na dyan, pwede kayo mag-avail ng mga na training niya na 11 modules. Ang ating Go Negosyo po, ang ating partner dyan, kung saan po pwede kayong matuto at gumawa ng business improvement plan para ma-expand or mag-grow yung negosyo. And then of course, yan ang mga platforms natin nowadays, no, na po pwede kayong mag-attend sa ating mga seminars or webinars na online. And of course, we consolidated tech tools for MSMEs. Itong SME Robbing Academy naman ay mga trainings natin na ginagawa dun sa negosyo centers. And then sa access to finance, yung money, o pwede kayong mag-avail ng mga financial assistance, loan assistance para sa mga under CARES program through our Small Business Corporation. Maganda dyan sa ating pondo para sa pagbabago at pag-asenso ay or CARES program natin ay walang collateral po ang pautang dyan, tapos zero interest pa, di ba? Tapos kayo pa mamimili ng terms kung ang pagbabayad. Okay? So meron tayo for tourism doon, meron din tayo for mga OFWs. Sa technology naman, pwede kayo makagamit sa aming mga publication laboratories. We have 29 nationwide. Tapos sa shared service facilities, we have 2,000 plus shared service facilities nationwide. Na kung saan ang niyan ay pwede kayo makagamit. Kaya tinawag namin na shared service facilities yan ay dahil sa shared system, pwede kayo makagamit para magkaroon kayo ng production at saka technology. Sa market, pwede kayo participate dito po sa mga different programs natin sa trade fair, sa auto, local, diskwento caravan, and of course, national trade fair. Sa panahon ng pandemya, hindi tayo nakakapag sa mall, no? Sa mga trade events, pero ngayon ginawa na rin natin online siya or virtual trade fair. And then of course, pangkabuhayan sa pagbangon at ginhawa, under the models of business, yung mga business concept, kung wala kayong iniisip ng business concept, pwede kayong mag-avail ng assistance dito po sa negosyo services sa barangay namin at saka pangkabuhayan sa pagbangon at ginhawa na kung saan may livelihood kits po pinamimigay dito na worth up to 10,000 pesos kung ano yung business na po pwedeng appropriate or angkop sa inyo. Basta kayo ay affected ng kalamidad, pandemya, tapos may mga capacity building din pong ginagawa dito, registration sa barangay, etc. So, mag-avail ng mga assistance na nabanggit ko ay dapat lang po ay makipag-ugnayan kayo sa aming mga negosyo centers sa DTI Provincial Office. Yan. Sa registering na business po, madali lang naman. 200 pesos lang sa DTI, good for 5 years na. Okay? Good for 5 years na. Tapos, susunod dyan ay mag-avail na kayo by the way, pwede rin kayong mag-register online na po. Ito yung ating address, pnrs.dti.gov.ph. And of course, may mga ibang agency, depende naman sa klase ng negosyo, no? And then these are the materials that are available for download for our reference ninyo para sa pagninegosyo. Kung hindi kayo makadownload sa website namin sa dti.gov.ph, I can send it to you, no? I can send it by email kung gusto niyo. So these are some of the helpful tips na pwede kong mabigay sa inyo. Start your business from the heart and passion. And remember that business planning from the heart, build and maintain an enterprise, di ba? Hindi just start and operate. Okay? And whatever you do, sabi ko dyan, just follow your heart, live your passion, and you will always be happy. Alright? So hanggang dyan na lang po at maraming salamat sa mahaba akong discussion at yung pakikinig. Ano po?
Yes, Mr. Edwin. Thank you so much. Napakarami po talagang information. Ayan. Bitin ng oras natin. I think kung ganitong topic, kailangan natin one full day. Kasi alam ko marami pong mga members ng Sorfil na interested talagang mag-start ng own business. And it's also like a good reminder, right, na minsan meron tayong mga challenges as psoriasis patients sa corporate work, pero hindi tayo mawawalan ng pag-asa kasi pinakita ni Sir Edwin na marami palang opportunities na makapag-start ng business. Ayan. Yes. Oo. Sir Edwin, siguro dahil ang dami natin kailangan ng time, pwede bang i-share uli natin yung screen for the email address para yung mga para yung mga gustong mag-start ng business, pwede po ba silang magtanong sa inyo diretso ng advice or consultation about? Ayan. Oo,
pwede po, pwede. Sige. Diyan po sa aking email, edwin.pasahol@dti.gov. Tapos, ayan, meron din akong FB. Pwede tayo maging friends.
Okay, guys, pa-SS na po, ha? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Parang online selling yan, ha?
Pamain. Sir Edwin, sobrang, you're very generous with your time and information. Thank you so much. Kung meron po kayong isa lang na sasabihin to encourage people to finally get started, kasi marami na silang ideas eh. What will you tell them to finally get started?
Start it.
Start it.
Yes. Kasi yun yung pag nag-take off na kasi, doon mo lang ma-realize, ay buti na-take off ko na.
Madali lang
kasi,
pala.
ang mahirap yung urong sulong eh. Kaya lang, doon sa urong sulong kasi nakikita mo, nauna yung urong. Di ba? Urong na urong. Dapat kasi ang isasama tayo, sulong bago urong, di ba?
Ayan.
Alright.
Yes, thank you so much. Yun lang talaga guys, talagang just get started. Ang dami ng support ng DTI, ng government, and Sir Edwin is going to help us or help you. Kung may mga katanungan kayo from this discussion, please don't hesitate to reach out to him via FB, IG, or email. Thank you so much, Sir Edwin. Thank you po sa...
Thank you, welcome.
Thank you.
Spending time with us for your generosity.
Sir, hopefully next year po ay ma-invite namin kayo sa aming Weekends with Sorpil kasi sobrang bitin itong oras na ito.
Oo nga
Kaya kailangan po magkaroon tayo ng part 2.
Yes. Okay.
Yan.
Yes, and before you go, we would like to present to you this certificate of appreciation, sir, for sharing your valuable insights, experiences, and expertise with us on about, all about starting a business. Ayan. For also making it seem not easy but doable. Na kaya naman pala. Yan. Thank you.
Okay.
Such a big encouragement.
Oo. Thank you. Thank you.
Sige po.
Right. Let us thank our sponsors.
Yes. Okay, it's time again to thank our sponsors. Okay, we would like to thank the following sponsors for the educational grant that they've shared with us. Our major sponsor is Leo. Yes, and our minor sponsors, thank you to Johnson & Johnson, Beringer Ingelheim, and Glenmark. And for donors, we have Novartis, Galderma, Subom, VMV Hypoallergenics, and Camedis. Again, thank you so much to our dear sponsors for always supporting our programs and for the educational grant.
Okay. So also, reminder to our viewers and attendees for this afternoon na wag kayong mawawala kasi mamaya ang raffle natin sa later part ng ating program. Kaya stay tuned lang. Dapat nandito kayo.
Napakarami nating pa-raffle, guys. So please stay on.
Ay, totoo.
Yes.
So i-SS nyo na yan. And sabi nga ni Sir Edwin kanina, start now. So pwede na tayong mag-start ng business natin. Basta importante yung mga pinaalala niya kanina na pag-aralan natin at alamin natin yung mga dapat nating unahin para magsimula ng negosyo. So dapat mga Pilipino matuto na magnegosyo. Okay.
And dagdag lang natin, no, para syempre for you to be counted sa datos, no, don't forget to register, no, sa business name. Kasi
yes,
it would
actually,
also help
Ate
you,
Carol,
no? Yung business name, you can do it online. So, napakadali mag-register online. So, do not forget that, no? If you want to start your business right, start by registering your business name. Ayan.
Online din ba ang payment, Ate Carol?
Yes, online na siya lahat. So, no worries. So, ano na siya talaga.
Diba ang dali?
Madali na, no?
Dami ng support.
Online na siya. And you can also print out your own certificate na parang ano na rin siya, pirmado na rin siya.
Galing.
So, ganun na siya, ano,
Wala
online
nang
na talaga
rason
si DTI.
mag-delay, no? Wala nang
Wala
rason
na.
mag-delay.
Oo.
Mamaya na. Register na natin yan.
Register mo na yung mushroom chicharon mo.
Yes, oo. Re-register ko na mamaya yan.
And gusto ko rin yung sinabi ni Sir Edwin na maski employed ka, hindi enough yun eh. Magandang meron kang business on the side para sa ibang sources of income mo. Yun.
Tama, Treya. Okay. So, proceed na tayo sa ating susunod na ating guest speaker for this afternoon. Ang ating susunod na guest speaker ay isa sa pinakakaabangan ng marami sa atin. We have with us a practicing medical doctor specializing in occupational medicine and is a graduate of the University of Santo Tomas. She was previously a project consultant to the World Health Organization Western Pacific Regional Office on Health Lifestyle in the Workplace. She is currently the head of the Makati Medical Center Wellness Center. She is a staunch mental health advocate and started a project called Unsaid Feelings at www.unsaid-feelings.com, which serves as a platform where individuals can write and let their feelings out with no judgment. Our guest may be familiar to most of us here because she is also a host her own digital series on CNN Philippines called The G Talks, where she talks about life, love, and anything mental health related. She has also launched a project called Padayon PH at padayonph.com, which aims to serve as a mental health resource hub, hoping that more people gain access to. To tell us about mental wellness, it is my honor, our honor, to welcome Dr. Gia Sison.
Hi everyone, thank you for inviting me to your webinar. Today, we'll be talking about how to combat or at least fight COVID fatigue. And this is all about the topic and my personal advocacy, which is mental health. First of all, let's set the tone for this discussion and define what mental health is. So when we say mental health, it actually is a state of well-being where as individuals, we realize that we are capable of our own capacities. We are able to cope with the stressors that are presented to us, and yet we still can contribute to our respective communities. And when we say health, it is a merging of a biological aspect, a psychological aspect, and a social aspect as well. Now, when the pandemic hit us last year, and again, we all know the surge has happened as we speak today, these are just 5 amongst a lot of mental health concerns in a time of pandemic. So there will always be uncertainty because the question of when will all this end cannot be answered for now. And that uncertainty kind of leads into heightened emotions. We all experience anxiety in different levels. We're scared, etc. We're extra cautious, and that's fine. That happens. And I guess we have experienced loss of someone who we know or a loved one. Like personally, I lost my uncle due to COVID. And we all find ourselves living or adjusting to the way life is from now on. So, and of course, we are currently experiencing still barriers in accessing basic services because now of the numerous lockdowns that we are experiencing. So this slide is actually from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration based on the US. And it shows us that in trauma, there are certain stages. So this first part is actually, this is what happened to us last year. This was pre-pandemic, and then this was the full impact, etc. Now, after a year into the pandemic, this is where we are. Although it says reconstruction and a new beginning, I want you to take note that these are setbacks that can happen. This is what happens, or this is what is still happening to us in the surge that we are experiencing. And so we find ourselves working through the grief that we feel and coming to terms na magbabago talaga yung buhay, some in one way or the other. Pauline Boss is a psychologist that studied grief in a whole new way. No, last year she released a paper or article, and she kind of concluded that grief is something that is communal. So when you say communal, it's something that is shared. All of us are experiencing also ambiguous loss, meaning to say we miss the times when we would see each other face to face with no fear of getting contracting a disease, etc. Now it's very restricted, and we share that as a community. And last April 19 of 2021, there was an article published by the New York Times describing that in-between feeling of being okay and not, and they termed it as languishing. So when you say languishing, whenever someone asks you how you are, sasagutin mo siya na okay lang. You're not fine totally, and you're not naman sobrang down. So it's that feeling in between. And sometimes symptoms are not apparent, but you just feel that you're floating, aimless, joyless, but you're there, you're aware of it. And they kind of termed it already as languishing. Now, we're talking about mental health concerns. Pandemic has been, napag-usapan na rin natin yan. And so we face another additional threat. And what is it? It's the additional threat of isolation and loneliness. And of course, if you were to ask me, everyone is at risk of this. This slide shows us acute stress reactions because kung tutuusin, stress is really normal in our lives. It's also how we react when when we feel that we are faced with a threat. And these are just some amongst a lot of symptoms of acute stress. I don't have to go through this one by one, but know that these are some of acute stress reactions. And when you say acute, it happens suddenly. Yung chronic kasi, that's by definition, 2 weeks or more. And we remember that there's in traumatic stress, there's a cognitive triad that we say. So views about self is affected, views about the world, and views about how it's going to be in the future. So yun yung mga tumatakbo, no? Whenever we are faced with something that is threatening. And the Kubler-Ross model shows us the different stages whenever we experience grief or experience anything that is sad or any challenge in life. So there's the shock that we feel, then we deny, we get frustrated. There is a level of depression. Then after that, change happens. Now we make this resolution that okay, I will start, or I will try to make tomorrow a better day. Now what I want you to remember is the 3 keys here on the horizontal graph. Now during the shock, denial, frustration stage, it's very important that we inform and we communicate. It's very refreshing to be able to talk about how you feel, of course, to people we trust. And of course, when you are at that lowest point in your life, emotional support is very important. And then when you start to decide to, make it better, make things better, guidance and direction is also very important. Now let's go to the um, coping part. We've talked about the mental health aspect, how the picture of how it is, and we talk about so how are we supposed to cope. Now there is this thing called radical acceptance practice rather. In practicing radical acceptance, we use negative or difficult times as the baseline and accept that there is actually a need for extra effort to be able to catch up. In other words, the thinking of there are just some things that I can't control can come in when we practice radical acceptance and accept that we also have limits. So that's very important. And it's a journey that we take. But once you get into that mindset, coping will, I wouldn't say come easier, but it will come at least, it will happen step by step. Now, this graph is from the Harvard School of Public Health. They studied emotional management last year also, same time, pandemic. The study was done March 2020. And on that study, the conclusion was the more that we express our fears, anxiety, and other negative emotions here, the more that we express it, the better we cope. Versus someone who acknowledges that there is something that's happening but brushes it away. So the more you brush them away, the more they're going to catch up. So it's better to be aware and express it. And gradually we confront situations. Why? Because again, let's go back to the graph I flashed earlier. The earlier that we acknowledge it, the better. Situations may be difficult to confront. That's why we slowly, no? Kaya nga gradual yung term because in one way or the other, haharapin at haharapin natin. Dapat yun. Now, this slide shows steps no, on how to be of support to others naman. Because I'm sure a lot of you nilapitan ng isang friend or isang family na humihingi ng tulong. And we also get a lot of questions like, how do I actually be of help? So let's remember these 5 steps. So number 1, spend time to reassure them that you are there for them, to support them. Offer support, that's the O. Offer support and listen to them. Letter D, don't take it personally. Like kunyari, hindi nag-open up yung friend nyo. And then you feel that, nako baka may sinabi akong mali. Sometimes it's not about you. It's about how the person really feels at that moment. And sometimes hindi lang talaga siya prepared. So don't take it personally. And T is tell. Tell that you're sorry that it happened to them and that you are there that you want to understand and assist them. Now, that is very, very vital whenever you spend time with a friend. No? I remember this advice when I was battling cancer 8 years ago, when I was undergoing chemotherapy, when I couldn't really talk about how I was feeling, but definitely I wasn't feeling well. And the most striking conversations that I have received were from people who said that they were just willing to understand me. So malaking bagay yun, no? Because it kind of made me feel that people pala were really there to help me, not only on my physical needs, but also on my emotional needs. And of course, try to spend some time talking. So time spent is very important. And ito, avoid self-comparison as well. No? This is also another advice, especially during these times. Kasi lahat tayo, meron tayong sariling paces and we have our own ways to be able to heal. No? Iba-iba naman kasi tayo. And comparing ourselves to others will not help. Kunyari, parang bakit siya parang hindi affected, ako parang sobrang affected. That's the way you are. So you try to dig deep into who you are and you be your own awesome self. Ika nga dito sa drawing. So let's avoid that. And minimize catastrophic thinking. Catastrophic thinking is how I term unhelpful thinking practices. Of course, we all think of the worst case scenario. We have to, diba? Because we have to be prepared. But in one way or the other, we also have to think of something that is good that's coming out from that situation. Actually, this is not toxic positivity. It's just finding or asking yourself, what is this situation trying to tell me? So you're also being real about yourself. Accept also that different opinions can be valid, even if you don't agree with them. And also, do not assume that you know what others are thinking. So we also have to check our assumptions. So it helps, no? Self-talk helps, and keeping a balance between the way you look at yourself and the way you are towards others. Now, a word on mental health in media. The bottom line of this slide is mindful consumption. Lahat tayo, victim tayo ng fake news. Actually nga ngayon, ang dami ko nang inilista na community group chats because it kind of gets into you in a negative way already. So, you cling on credible causes. So, dito na papasok yung get information from credible sources. And a social media detoxification can actually really be super helpful, especially during these times when parang everybody has a say on the situation. So, credible sources and mindful consumption is really key on being able to balance that. And maintain those social connections also. What COVID is teaching us is physical distancing, but I hope that doesn't really break the way we are connected internally as friends, as family, all the more that we should maximize also the online platforms, but not too much. Kasi may fatigue rin naman yun. But let's keep those social connections alive and strong because more than ever, we need that. Now, this tip is actually for those who are working from home and still also working from site. No, either way, establishing routines can actually help, especially if you have a family. Kunyari, you are managing a family. Having a routine can actually give you a sense of control. Kasi, let's face it, working from home has blurred a lot. Andyan yung mga nag-online learning, andyan yung mga nagtatrabaho, and it can get toxic. So when you establish your routine and you're able to communicate that to the ones na kasama mo sa bahay, that can actually help you. So, and in establishing a routine, don't forget to be deliberate in taking breaks. And separate work also from your place of rest. No matter how small that space is, that can be possible. Kahit isang corner, doon ka lang mag-work. When you get out of that corner, it's understood that magre-relax ka. Something like that, no? You really have to form that habit so that hindi tayo ma-burn out. Okay, let's talk about motivation because we all know that motivation is one thing that was hardly hit by the pandemic. And when we say motivation, it's actually these two things, no? When we define motivation, it's a process that guides our goal-oriented behaviors. And number two, it's the driving force behind human actions. Diba? Why do we do the things we do? Because, you're motivated by something that you want, something that you dream of. So, laging may ganon, driving force. But motivation is not there every day. And so we work our way through it. And there are two types of motivation. There's extrinsic motivation and there's intrinsic. When you say extrinsic, yun yung reward system from the outside. And yung intrinsic, those are those that arise from within the individual. So there are two types of that. Remember, motivation is often the result of action and not the cause of it. So again, babalik tayo sa celebrate niyo yung mga small wins niyo because without that, hindi niyo makukuha yung yung gusto niyo sa buhay. So it's really acknowledging you for what you do. And on these 3 steps, actually, this is one advice on how to restart motivation, especially during these hard times. To recognize and celebrate small achievements can actually really be a huge thing. No? Set and celebrate your milestones. And highlight also work well done. Hindi naman laging fault finding dapat eh. Highlight also yung mga good things that you have done on a regular basis. So you don't have to wait for a month para maipon lahat ng ginagawa. In fact, we encourage that every day, name one thing that you are grateful about. Pwede na yun, that can start there. And then the rest can actually follow. This is from James Clear. No? He's actually the author of Atomic Habits, which is a very good book to read, which you might want to read about habits. No? Sabi niya, let's stop waiting for motivation or inspiration to strike. And we have to really set a schedule for our habits. And one of the habits we need to form is establishing a routine, practicing self-care, and of course, listening to ourselves in terms of what our body tells us, etc. So, habits lahat yan. Kailangan natin yan i-form. Now, for those of you who have overwhelmingly huge tasks to do, it helps to break it down and prioritize your task. And the Pomodoro technique is one amongst a lot of focus-based techniques on how you can focus on one task at a time. So how does this go? So, kunyari, you have a big task to do. You set a time for that. Example, you are expected to prepare a presentation for X company X, parang ganyan, a sales presentation. You allot a time that you think that you can do it. So, kunyari, you allot 2 hours for that. So, during those 2 hours, that has to be focused work, meaning to say, no distractions. Close all the tabs in your laptop and just do work related to that presentation for 2 hours. And then, via a timer, pag nag-ring na yung alarm na tapos na yung 2 hours, drop your work, get out of the workstation, and relax. Longer than 2 hours. Sabihin na natin 2 hours, 30 minutes, parang ganon. On that way, ma-fulfill nyo yung task nyo in a focused way. And you can actually set time pa for another Pomodoro. So, treat one Pomodoro as one task. So, usually yan, every 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, parang ganyan. So, pero yung sinabi ko sa inyo earlier, that was an example na I personally did. So, yun, it might help you try this out. And minimize distractions. That's very important. So, how? Paano natin i-minimize yung distractions? This is where communication with your companions in the house matter. So, tell them that hindi ka dapat maistorbo on this time, etc. No? Negotiate a time kasi hindi naman lahat has the luxury of talagang being alone and working, di ba? You have to negotiate time and then schedule your follow-ups kasi we're talking about focused work na eh. And then call back the other party kasi during your focused work, wala kang distractions dapat. So yung mga calls nyo, schedule for a callback para naman hindi naman masyadong ma-feel nung iba na talagang binaliwala nyo sila. So this will highly help you. And on this slide, James Clear talked about building habits to build motivation. And I want you to focus on the left side, which is how do we actually create good habits? And there are 4 pillars in being able to form good habits. You make it obvious, you make it attractive, you make it easy for you, and you make it satisfying. So on that way, habits can be appealing. And remember, it also takes 21 days to form a habit. So it takes time. Let's not be impatient with the process. mangyayari yan as long as, again, we're motivated and we find and we built in these four pillars to that. And remember the 3 R's of habit formation. Number 1 is to remind yourself. Just like yung pag traffic light, pag green, it's a go, no? And number 2, make it a routine. Yung action naman to. So see, you remind yourself, that converts into action. And then you reward also yourself. And the reward doesn't have to be big. It can actually be affirmation na I got through this day. I got through this habit. And that is very affirming. Practice that every now and then, and you'd get into that art of affirmation also, which we all need. And don't forget to rest and bounce back. It's very important that we listen to our bodies and our minds as well. Listen to the cues that is giving us. Cues is CUES. Cues that is giving us, that it is giving us na tama na muna, pahinga muna tayo. And let's not be guilty of resting, because for me, rest is not a privilege. Rest is a need. Because paano ka magtatrabaho tomorrow and do the things you're supposed to do when you're tired? And literally, our body needs to rest too. So, para yung car, para yung kotse, hindi naman yung pwedeng tumakbo 24 hours a day. So you really have to learn how to rest. Restart, recharge, and be intentional when you will return to work. And just a word also in catastrophic thinking, which I presented before this, we also have to be intentional to the situations that give us hope. No? Hindi naman kasi maganda lagi yung na-expose tayo sa lagi na lang negative news. It's not good also for our mental health. We also have to anchor ourselves to stories of hope that, despite dark days, meron pa rin mangyayaring maganda. We just don't know when. But think about that. And of course, accept changes in productivity. Iba yung situation natin ngayon. It's extraordinary times. So we do with what we have. Sometimes we're not productive, but being not productive doesn't mean that you're lazy. That I think that's also one mentality we need to move out of. And sabi ko nga, minsan the most productive thing we do is to be lazy, di ba? Kasi that's honoring na your body's cues na pagod ka na eh. And that meron talagang changes sa the way we do things. And that's fine, given the difficult situation that we are in. And in whatever situation we are in, we find our flow. Finding our flow is actually or can be a predictor of well-being. So when you find your flow, that's finding the groove, no? The groove on how you can work, how you study, how you do things, and that differs from person to person. So that's a very meaningful challenge or a bond you take within yourself. Lalo na kapag yun nga nangyayari yung languishing. Actually, the number one advice that was given if individuals are experiencing languishing, it's to find his or her flow. Go ka lang, no? Let it happen. And then, on that journey, ask yourself what it's telling you. Only then, you can find your flow. And of course, don't forget to fix your eyes on the goal, while understanding that the journey may be difficult. And don't forget to always show up and have the courage to be yourself. In this unfiltered world, it takes people to really be. In this filtered world, rather, it takes courage to be the unfiltered one. And don't forget others too. No? The help we do. Remember, you will never regret good work once done. And of course, we can't do anything alone. We need others too, especially when we're overwhelmed by things that we feel, by the things that we do. So seek support, no? Seek it from the people around you. Di ba nga may saying that no man is an island, and I really agree on that. No matter how strong you are as a person, at one point in your life, you will need the help of others, and that's fine. Hindi kawalan ang humingi ng tulong. In fact, it's a sign of strength. So that ends my talk for you today. I hope you learned a thing or two, and that we're all in this together. Someday, matatapos din ito. For the meantime, we do the things we can given the situation we have, and we take things or take days one day at a time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Doc Gia. So that was a very informative and a good talk talaga, no? So binigyan tayo ng tips on how to handle our mental wellness. Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Doc. Alam mo, Ate Carol, ang dami kong takeaways doon sa doon sa topic natin na ito. So take time. So take time to relax and take time for to know more about our mental wellness, no? Ito yung minsan isang tabi natin dahil lagi tayong abala lagi sa mga ginagawa natin, sa gawaing bahay, sa trabaho, pero we forget na it is important to take good care of our mental wellness.
Yes, okay. So tama 'yon, ano? So now nakatapos na tayo ng dalawa, no? B at saka M. And wellness. The BMW actually done, but we are going back to the money thing, ano? So dito exciting talaga to, no? And
okay, maraming salamat. Thank you guys.
So much.
Oo, maraming salamat.
Sir, magpe-present po kami ng certificate.
Talaga? Paspas na tayo. Bye.
Ayan, thank you so much for sharing your insights, experiences, and expertise. Sobra po, kung mababasa niyo yung chat, napaka-valuable po talaga ng lahat ng information na shinare ninyo. We are very privileged to have you today. Thank you so much. And for the prayer, such a beautiful prayer. Thank you, Mr. Chinky.
Salamat
thank you so much po.
Thank you. Dagan salamat. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I think, ayun na, pumapasok na tayo ngayon sa next part of our program, the part 3, ayan, which is all about wellness. Ayan naman, wellness section na. Nagpapakita tayo ng mga videos ngayon that Chris will be telling us about.
Yes, okay. Itong ating mga susunod na mga videos natin is about arts and crafts, painting, and also yung ating guest din kanina sa pole dancing. So we will see videos from our very own Lisa de la Cruz, Reynaldo Peralta Jr., and to Eizza Lim de Baron. galing naman ni Ate Lisa doon.
Oo, grabe. Second time ko siyang nakita pero tagang ngayon, lagi pa rin ako kung kay starstruck chingkitan kanina, yun parang starstruck din ako sa ginagawa ni Lisa.
Oo nga eh. Sobra palang
Hindi mo
talented.
akalain, kaya mong gawin yun sis. Ayan bigyan natin siya ng pagkakataon magsalita.
Ay naku, alam mo, na-surprise din ako. Ngayon ko lang din napanood ng buo yun. Kasi ginawa ko entry yan actually. Kaya lang, sabi ko nga, hindi pala giveaway na lang doon sa iba kasi mas alam ko mas maraming deserving. Pero one thing na nakatulong sa akin every time, kasi bata pa ako, mahilig na talaga ako sa mga ganyan-ganyan ko. No? Gupit-gupit, papel-papel. So dala-dala ko siya hanggang pagtanda ko. Na tipong kada ako ma-stress, kada ako parang meron akong gustong kalimutan o gusto kong maiba yung yung isip ko, dinadivert ko into my crafting. So parang ako, one thing lang na pwede kong isang tip din sa mga pasyente, sa mga kabalat natin na dumadaan sa mga kung ano-anong isipin ngayong pandemic, do what you love. I-divert nyo yung isip nyo sa mga bagay na sa tingin nyo malilibang kayo, makakatulong sa inyong makalimot sa maayos na paraan. Kasi maraming iba gumagawa. Gusto makalimot pero iba ginagawa. This time, para makatulong din sa inyo, yung ma-boost yung mental health nyo, maglagay kayo ng oras sa isang araw na sa tingin nyo, magagawa nyo yung gustong-gustong ginagawa nyo. Sa kahit isang oras, 2 oras, malaking tulong to sa atin. Lalong-lalo na ngayong pandemic. Kasi lalo ng 2020, parang maloloka ako. Siguro ang dami ko nang nagupit na papel that time. Yun lang. Ito yung diversion ko. Ito yung nakakatulong sa akin. Itong ginagawa ko na to para malibang ko yung sarili ko and I come up with something good. I come up with something na pwede kong irigalo o ibenta kasi kailangan ko, wala naman tayo. Minsan, sabi nga ni Chinky, gawa ka ng paraan para kumita ka kahit maliit na paraan. Yun lang.
Thank you.
Sana nagustuhan
Thank you, Ate Lisa.
Yes!
Thank you.
Muntik ka na.
Nakaka-inspire.
Nag-oras ako. I hope you like it, guys. I hope you like it.
Oo naman, ang ganda niya.
Okay.
Nasa trabaho ko actually, kaya tumakas lang ako kay boss. Buti wala siya dito. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks Lisa. Then the next video.
Isang mapagpalang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay si Reynaldo Peralta Jr. Ako po ay isang psoriasis warrior sa loob ng humigit kumulang 8 taon. Ako po ay dumudulog sa inyo upang ibahagi ang aking talento na lubos na nakatutulong sa aking kalusugang pangkaisipan o mental health. Bukod sa aking trabaho, pagpipinta ang aking pinagkakaabalahan upang panatilihing malusog ang aking pag-iisip. Ito po ang aking paraan at sa tingin ko po, ito ay lubos na nakatutulong sa aking emosyonal, psikolohikal, at sosyal na aspeto. Sa pagpipinta ko po na ilalabas ang aking mga saloobin. Naglilibang po ako sa aking ginagawa at natulungan po ako nitong maibsan ang aking pagkabalisa sa mga pagsubok na dumaan sa aking buhay. Sabi nga po ng isang nakakita ng aking ipininta, ay puno daw po ng emosyon ang aking likha. Ayon sa kanya, ang aking iniisip o saloobin habang ako ay nagpipinta ay nasasalamin sa aking mga emosyon at saloobin nung panahon na ako ay nagpipinta. Nakikita daw ng aking saloobin mula sa mga kulay na aking ginagamit. Sa pagpipinta din po lumago ang aking pakikitungo sa mga tao. Walang katumbas ang sayang aking nararamdaman pag nakikita kong pinahalagahan ng ibang tao ang aking mga ipininta. Sana po ay nakapulot kayo ng kaalaman sa aking munting ibinahagi. Muli po, maraming salamat.
nagulat ako doon ah.
Wow.
Kala ko Huggy logo.
Oo. O, di ba sa umpisa, pakala natin yung logo ng Hug Me, no? Pero yung pala, ano siya, the Holy Family, no? Ang galing talaga. No, hindi mo akalain na ano.
Ang ganda ng color, no? Very bright.
Finished product, no? Ang galing ni Ray.
Galing ni Ray, kaya saktong-sakto, meron ako niyan.
Oo nga. O hindi ikaw ang may-ari na, no? Si Lisel. Ano, tapos dito, ang galing talaga, no? So, congratulations, Ray, no? And of course, thank you for sharing it with us dito sa ating BMW, no?
All right.
So talagang we can find ways of how to to keep us relaxed and everything, no, para sa wellness ng ating pag-iisip. Yes,
yes. Therapeutic.
And for our next video, kanina 'di ba yung ating guest speaker kanina, ang ating motivational speaker din kanina na-inspire tayo talaga kung paano siya nakakapagsayaw but despite of our psoriasis sa kanyang condition din. Ito panoodin po natin ang pole dancing routine.
Hi guys, my name's Eizza and I'm here to share with you how an exercise routine can actually help you mentally with coping with psoriasis, with coping with stress, and just generally with coping with life. I am, I wouldn't say a newbie pole dancer. I've been pole dancing for 2.5 years now. And I found my happiness in pole. What does that mean? Especially during the first cycle of the ECQ, I was able to purchase a home pole and I just practiced on my own certain tricks, certain routines, which helped me cope with the lockdown. Every time I grip a pole or every time I finish a routine on a spinning pole or every time I nail a trick or I conquer my fears by flipping on a pole, it has an immeasurable, indescribable effect on me mentally, on a positive way. I mean, I I just feel a lot happier. I just feel really pumped. I feel fulfilled. And so that's why I do pole dancing. The funny thing is, my husband has actually asked me that maybe I should consider stopping pole because I get bruises from pole, and after I get bruises, it triggers a new psoriasis lesion. But the reality is, I just feel like the benefits that it gives me far outweighs a new lesion because of a bruise. And so the compromise was to just get my body stronger and get my skin and my flesh more used to the impact of the pole so that I can continue pole dancing. So here's an example of a little routine that I would normally do in one class as taught by my teachers. So one routine is from a class is about a minute long, but every hook, every touch, every grip that we do is actually what triggers my psoriasis. But then again, like I said, it's what makes me happy. And so I encourage everyone out there to find an exercise routine that makes them happy.
Rise up out of the dark, out of the dark. Who am I to try and save you? I ain't gonna hide. You have to fight to change. Into the fire, standing beside you. I won't let you down. I won't let you down. No, no, no. I won't let you down. I won't let you down. No, no, no. If you can't find no reason, if you stop believing, there's nothing that I won't do, nothing I won't do for you. No, I won't let you down.
O, di ba, partida, may psoriatic arthritis
Kaya
ka.
sabi ni Lisa, kaya daw niya yan.
Sample.
Sample nga.
Kung kaya niya, kaya din natin. Kailangan lang yung mga
Oh,
tips na
grabe.
binigay
No?
niya, di ba?
Talagang, talagang amazing, no? Amazing talaga.
Intro na yan. Kasi yung next portion natin, ito na yung dapat na-inspire tayong gumalaw-galaw. Yes! Siguro yung iba sa atin medyo antok na. Or medyo, sana nakapag-merienda kayo, maski pa paano ng konti kanina. Pero, sinong ready na mag-exercise? Ayun,
Dapat lahat
Hindi
kasali,
ako
ha?
nakapag-rubber
Galaw-galaw.
shoes. Hindi
O,
ko
pero
mag-rubber
ito,
shoes
sasabihin ko,
dyan.
parang sa physical event din, di ba? In-person event, meron din tayong mga ganyang activities.
Yeah.
Ito, online man siya, meron pa rin tayong awards dun sa mga, or ibibigay na award dun sa mga magte-turn on ng camera at
Yes.
susunod sa video na ipapalabas namin. May prizes. Yes, bukod sa raffle, meron pa nito, special award para sa best performers. Okay? So, hintayin natin muna yung mga tao. Can you turn on your cameras? Ready? Okay lang.
Let's
mas
wait
yung
for
suot
them
nyo.
to open the camera. Ayan, nakikita ko na sila. Nasa gallery view na ako.
Okay lang maski anong suot nyo, maski naka-shorts kayo, okay lang yan.
Oo.
O yung mga naka-phone, ilagay nyo lang na ganyan, tapos panoorin natin para sabay-sabay tayong gumalaw-galaw. Importante to, sinabi nga kanina, di ba? Exercise. Kailangan. Game.
So, ang mananalo, pipili tayo ng 5
Ready
yata,
na si
no?
Baby,
5
oh.
best performer. Lumayo ka na, Chea. Okay, ready na, ready.
Are you ready?
Dapat, tingnan nyo, hindi magpapadaig si Sir Joseph. Nakatayo, nakikita ko. Hindi dapat natin na palagpasin to. Okay. Are we ready?
Introduce ko pala muna yung video. Alam nyo ba, hindi
Yes,
basta-basta
please,
to.
Leia.
We are gonna be led by Coach Leslie Sison. Hindi siya basta-basta. She is a famous exercise coach in the US. And her program, this program, is accredited by the American Heart Association. So talagang legit to, guys. Kapag kailangan natin gumalaw-galawan, makakatulong ito. Game.
Ring.
Shout out kay Maria. Kasama niya ang kanyang anak yata, no? Nakikita natin sa video.
Ready? Don't forget, we're selecting the best performers. Game.
So come on, join me. It's just an easy warm-up, and then we are going to take off, okay?
Ayan pala, madali
So
lang.
let me give you the moves that we're going to be using through the whole program. This is kind of like the rehearsal. That's what a warm-up is. But it's to warm your muscles. It's to really prepare the body for the more advanced pace later on, okay? So it's just a few minutes. So here we go. Let's go over the steps, everybody, okay? Walking, we're doing it. We don't even waste a second. We just start moving once we hear music, because music is our pace.
Jog in place.
Okay, so it's 4 and 3. We're gonna do side steps next, guys. Step out to the side. There you go. So that's our second move.
Wow.
Our Walk at Home
Side
program
step.
has 4 core movements, and I'm showing them to you right now. And I know if you can do those 4 moves, you do the whole thing easily. Out together, out together. This is an easy side step. Later on, we power it up. 4 more, guys.
Go, go, go.
4 and 3 and 2. Okay, now walk again. Go back to walking. Now, do you hear that? That's the pace. That's the beat you need. That's the speed you need.
Bigay todo si Coach
To get that
Hazel.
heart rate up. The body demands more oxygen. You burn a bunch of calories. That's how we get fit. We're doing it now. Hey, see how happy we all got? Yeah! Walk that. When that pace picks up, everybody's happy. All right, come on, guys. Walk, 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 walk. Woo!
Naiingit
Okay,
naman ako kay
we're gonna
Maricel.
do a side step and turn it into a skater. And we'll show it to
Tama-tama
you.
yung
Do
mga
the best
hindi
you can. Follow along.
nakapag-walking ngayon. Ito na yung
A little bit of
exercise
walk,
natin.
walk, walk, walk. I want to make sure
Sabi
I've
nga
got
raw
that
10,000
perfect
steps
Here's
daw
4.
kailangan
Here's
natin
3.
average
Here's 2. A side step only. Get your path of motion
Side
going
step.
first. Then we'll power it up. Sit a little bit lower. Engage your thighs more. As you go down, the thighs wake up. They fire up.
Oh,
Good.
best performers,
Out
ha? Mga may konting
There you go.
dyan.
There's 4. 3. Now keep these
Heart,
going,
heart, heart
but
dyan. Dito.
tap behind. We call this
Surprise.
skater. And see what happens? It kind of forces you to jump from side to side. So go ahead, guys. You know, power it
Side
up.
step.
Step, tap,
May side
step,
sa likod.
tap. Come on, jump a little bit. If you're using hand weights, keep them close to
Actually,
your
30
body.
minutes to eh. Tapos patagalan
Nice.
tayo.
Out together, out together. Skaters.
Joke lang. 10 minutes lang.
Good for your thighs, good for your back end. Drive your heart rate up. You're doing it right now.
Yung mga judges natin namimili na.
Oo nga eh. Nakikita ko sila eh.
2. Walk here. Oh, nice.
Walk.
Hey guys.
Mga nakangiti yung mga judges natin,
It looks like this. Bouncing. You got the pace. Raise the arms up.
Bounce, bounce.
Nice.
Raise your hands.
Nice. I feel like I want to
Kumakalog yung mga tiyan natin
Come on. Why not? Don't let
Ate Marge, nakikita mo ba kami?
Nice, nice. And walk again. Good. That's just to drive the heart rate a little more. A little bounce.
Mukhang mapaparami ang kain natin mamaya.
And walk,
Oh,
walk,
remember,
walk,
eat
walk.
healthy.
Knees are coming. High knees. 4 more
Shout
walks.
out,
It's
Firmation
4,
Evelyn.
3, 2. Just lift the knee. I want you to think before the knees come up. Tummy tuck.
Sayang, Vesper.
You gotta get your core engaged. And
Yes.
the legs move
Siyempre,
with
di
power
ba
when you have
papatalo ba si Girlie?
stabilization in the core. The way to do it, tuck your tummy back. Belly button toward the spine, and you did it. Okay, guys, hands toward the knees. Open up the feet a little wider. Open them up. These
Higher
are single knee lifts. And why do I say single? Because doubles not.
Parang nakikita ko na yung best performer natin
Okay. Single, 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 single. Let's go 4 and 3. Ready for doubles? Let's do it now. Double, double. Control hand
Double.
weights. Always control, not too much.
Oh, control lang.
Small, deep motion when you have weights in your hands. Good. Okay. Let's do one more set. So
Mami Cora,
one on
oh.
each side and then we walk. Walk, walk, walk. Always back to that walk. Hey, Nick. I think I need to bounce, Nick. I think I need to fist pump, Nick. How cute you are. Okay, other hand. Yeah. And just a few bounces. 4, 3, back to a walk. I like bouncing. It's good. And walk, walk. Heart rate is up already. We're just a few minutes in, and you know you're getting a workout. Feels so good. Tap out. So a move called tap out.
Shout out, Lord Torres.
Walks, guys. 4, 3, 2. Now, everybody, let's just tap. Tap. There you go. Tap and tap. Tap. Tap out. All right, I want to use more muscle right now. So you see what I did? I just sat down. When you sit into it,
Shout out kay Coach Ray. Kahit nasa office. Masayaw.
Gluteals back in. They're more involved. Now, if you want to stand up tall, that's okay. Little less muscle, but it still keeps you moving at that good pace. So I want you to choose it.
Parang sumasakit ang
Long leg,
bibig.
long leg, long leg.
Okay.
Stretch out.
Pero kailangan natin to.
Ha.
Okay.
Araw tayo
All right, hey
nakaupo.
guys, let's turn a little bit. Turn, turn, turn.
Imagine the
turn.
10-minute
4,
video.
and 3, and 2. You're walking now. Wow. Another beat change. That means we go stronger. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Walk, 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 walk. Upper body, everybody. We're going to go up and down. Then we're going to stretch out and come back. Whew. Come on, upper body.
Konti na lang. 1 hour na lang. 1 hour.
And walk.
Matira
Few
matibay
more.
na,
Here's
diba?
4,
Ilang minutes pa?
3. Ready? Slow. It's up and down. Stretch out.
And
and
toning
back.
down na tayo.
Go up, down. Stretch out.
Upper body
Back.
naman daw.
Go up, down. Stretch out. Strong
Yan.
arms.
Nainggit na si
Strong
Coach
arms.
JR sa atin. Sumama na.
Tummy tuck. Belly button toward the spine engages your core. And you are walking
Side.
strong.
Up.
And you're walking tall.
Side. Up.
Ah, feels so good. I'm so
Diba,
glad you
parang
said I'm going to
magkakasama
give
din
it a
tayo.
challenge. I'm taking 30 days, and I am taking the challenge. I'm so proud of you. I know it feels good because you have a plan. Last one, everybody. Arms are down and walk, walk. Open up the feet. Kickbacks are coming. When you have a plan, you feel so good. You know what you have to do.
Shout
That's what
out,
gets
Lisa
results.
de la Cruz.
So you're doing it. Come on, 4, 3, 2. Kick back.
Sama
is
mo
here
na yung
now.
mga
Here,
naka-office
kick
mate mo
back,
dyan.
kick back. And again, you can stay tall on this, or you can get down low. Use those thighs.
Hello po, Mayor.
Hey. Stretch all the way out, guys. Stretch out. You feel the tummy tucks. It fires back. When the hands go in the air, your abs
Ate
are
Marge,
involved.
nakapili ka na ba?
Even, you don't have to think about it. It just happens. Yeah. 4, 3, 2. Walk, 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 walk. Woo.
Walk.
And walk, 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 walk. Woo. It feels so good. Yes. Transition. We got another fast pace coming. Give us a second. Grab the pace. Here's a walk, 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 walk.
Nice,
walk.
Shea.
Nice. Knee
Sumasayaw
lifts
na
are
lang ako
coming,
eh.
everybody. 4 and 3 and 2. Let's lift the knee strong, strong, strong. Oh, go ahead. Put the hands toward the knee. That calls on rotator muscles. Oh, those are the internal, external obliques. That's what helps
Nararamdaman
you
ko yung
rotate
ano.
at the trunk. We're gonna get those strong, easy moves like this can call on those rotators. Come on, knee and knee. Come on, there's 4, there's 3. Let's go right to double, everybody. Go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, keep the hands near the waistline, but now I want you to make them stronger, stronger.
Double, double.
Come on. It's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Come on. Get into that waistline. Lift that leg. Get the hips, the thighs, the waist, the arms.
Shout out, Edmond
You did
Raza.
it. Good.
Coach.
4, 3, 2, and 1. You're walking again. Always back to a walk. Okay, up, guys. Raise them up. Yeah. Here we go. Raise up and down. Strong arms.
Oh, last 2 minutes na lang yata to.
Flatten up your tummy. Engage your core. 4 more.
Kung na lang
4.
nagsasalita, hingal na kami lahat.
2. 1. Good. Arms are down. Nice. Easy walk. Walk. Easy
Slow
kicks
down.
coming up, everybody. 4.
Down.
3. Easy kick right here. Just kick. Kick. Heart rate coming down.
And
Yeah.
going down.
Hey, everybody with weights, we're going to just go back to an easy walk. Go ahead, put the weights down. And just continue just a little more. Heart rate down. I want to get you into a stretch, okay? Open up feet just a bit, just a bit. It's so gentle now. Feel the heart rate dropping? And your breathing will come back to normal now, where it was in the beginning, okay? You want breathing back, heart rate to drop. 4.
Importante
3.
ang breathing,
Okay,
ha?
guys, you can go right ahead and plant the feet
Huminga
there.
kayo.
Turn your toes out a little bit. Bend the knees if you just soften up your knees a little wee bit, but stay tall. This is your stretch. Inhale up. Exhale down.
Exhale down.
Yun.
Inhale, exhale.
Congratulations dun sa mga nakatagal ng 10 minutes.
Grabe. Mainit na.
Shout out kay Maricel.
Yes! Nakatagal din. And may mga ano talaga eh, may mga nag-stop na eh. Mga after...
Pinapawisan si Ate Lor, oh.
Siyempre, shout out din kay JR Mulato.
Ay.
Hindi nakatiis. Sumali.
Habang naghihintay tayo nung mga scores nila at kung sino yung winners, pwede ba tayo magpa-raffle muna?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Mga inaabangan nila.
Dami
Iba,
tayong
water
prizes.
break daw.
Oo nga. Oo nga naman.
Ako naramdaman ko humihingal ako.
Pero on time naman
Alright.
ata ulit tayo eh. Ayan.
So,
yun,
ito
oo.
yung ano eh. Ito raw yung ating tawag dito. Pwede natin gawin everyday routine natin para continuously maging healthy tayo kahit na nasa bahay lang tayo. Okay.
Lalo na ngayon, 'di ba, na work from home tayo at hindi tayo nakakagalaw-galaw. It's important that we use technology or hindi excuse 'yon para hindi tayo magka-exercise. Yes, magkaroon ng movement. Okay, so ito na yung time ng raffle. Coach Chris, ano bang mga ipamimigay natin ngayon?
Teka lang. Ayun. So sa raffle winners natin, we have the first half of winners, the Subom, Kamedis, and a Gcash worth 200 pesos.
Yes!
O, heart naman dyan.
Nanood lang kayo, meron pa kayong premyo. Marami tayong pamimigay. So let's start with the Subom giveaway or gift package.
Uy, ang ganda niyan, Coach Thea, yung Subom. Nasubukan ko yan.
Oo nga eh, nagpamigay din tayo nito nung Patient Summit number 1.
Patient Summit, yung ating
October.
WPD rin yata, meron, di ba?
Oo,
Yes.
oo. Ayan, ang ating mga winners, meron ba tayong PowerPoint ng winners?
I think
Kung
we
wala-
just need to announce it
Kasi
na lang.
announce na lang, kasi copy and paste na lang natin dito. Anyway, our winners for the Subom gift package are Kenneth Rivera, Trisha May Malsada, and Edmond Raza, Percival Fernandez, and Alex Peralta. Ayan!
Yes!
Okay, that's the Subom package.
Winners natin for the Subom packages.
Next, meron din tayong winners ng Kamedis package. Ikaw naman, Coach?
For our committees, we have 5 winners, no? Maricel Cabuga,
Yes.
Bel Mendoza, Fester Sarte, Michelle Tringuela, and Jerry Bautista. Congratulations!
Congratulations, no? Pero sabi nga natin, those are pre-drawn. Pero pag wala kayo dito ngayon, mafo-forfeit yung prize ninyo. So, mabibigay yon sa iba na lang, no? Okay. So, for our next, for GCash, naka-flash na ba natin for GCash?
Wala pa.
Paki-flash.
Ito na. Yun, by the way, yun palang mga winners nitong mga tinatawag naming names ngayon. Please contact Emilu Casanova on Messenger para sa inyong prizes, okay? Siya yung magbibigay ng prizes ninyo, whether it be Subam, Kamedis, or GCash.
Yes, Coach Vester,
Okay,
you're
so
here.
for our GCash,
Announce na natin?
Yes. Okay. Ako na?
Okay, for our
Okay.
GCash, worth 200 pesos. The first winner is Viola A. Sanchez, Maria Catalina S. Torres, another Maria Alapide, Maria Christy Jane Amar, and Ria Aldeguer.
Yun. Again, you get 200 pesos sa inyong GCash. Madali namang mabigay yan sa inyo kung may GCash kayo. Please,
so paki-contact na lang ulit si Emilu and please give your GCash account, no, para mai-transfer sa inyo.
At hindi lang yan, meron pa tayo. Nakikita nyo ba to? United Shirts. Meron pa tayong pamimigay na United Shirts. A total of 6 people will receive this. Ay, 3 pala muna. Mamaya 3 again later after. The first is Ernesto Onal. You get a t-shirt, a United shirt. Second is Doreen P. And third is Flor de Liza Servo. White, pero ang difference lang is white yung shirt. Ayan. For the shirts naman, please contact si Ate Liza de la Cruz.
Okay, we need to have your addresses para mapa-deliver natin yan.
Alright. Ang next part naman natin is, ayan na, ready na ba tayo sa mga winners ng dance, ng exercise? Best performers? Judges? Sino ba yung judges na si si Marge? Ka-age ko lang.
Yun yata yung exercise winners natin, right? Yung GCash 200.
Hindi pa yun.
Iba pa yun.
Iba pa yun.
Iba pa ba yun?
Oo. Pero siguro pwede na rin tayong mag-award nung ating early bird winners. Kasi meron tayong i-award na 4 early bird winners eh. May 2 na early registrants, yung mga first 2 na nag-register. Ayan, mamaya na yon. Pinapakita na natin ngayon sa screen yung exercise winners. Congratulations! Ito yung mga best performers ng ating exercise.
Ito ba yun?
Ate Carol,
si Ailey J. First winner is Ailey Jane Tohong. Then we have Maricel Kabuga. Then we also have Joey Rico Hermoso, Evelyn Fermacion, and Maria Alapide. Congratulations!
Diba? Naka-exercise na kayo, may reward, may prize pa kayo.
May Gcash pa.
Oo, kan ka pa. Okay, ayan, yung kaninang sinasabi ko, early bird winners. So, yung first 2 early bird winners natin, ito yung first 2 na nag-register online. These are Amita Cruz and Maria Christy Jane Amar. Yan, congratulations! You were the first 2 people to register online. And the second set of winners are for the first 2 na, ulitin ko, nagkabaliktad. Si Amita Cruz and Christy Jane Amar, yung first 2 na nag-log in today. Ayan.
Yung unang pumatok sa pinto ni Zoom.
Yes. Tapos
yung unang pumasok.
Yes.
Ay kumatok.
Oo, unang kumatok kasi nasa waiting room eh.
Oo,
Kumatok
tulog
muna
pa
sila.
yung may-ari ng bahay. Kumakatok, nagdo-doorbell
Tulog pa
na
yung
sila.
gwardya, pumakatok na.
Yes. And then yung next two winners naman, ito naman yung mga first two na nag-register online dun sa
Early
link
registrant.
natin. Yes.
Yes.
So, first winner is Hannah Carmela Garcia, and the second one is Virginia Abellera. Ate Virg, congrats! Yes.
Ana Banana! Congrats!
Congrats!
Saka si Virgie.
Again, please contact Emilu Casanova on Messenger para sa inyong award. Ang dami pa pala nating pamimigay. Meron pang second set. Ngayon na ba natin ipamimigay?
We have our second half of, tama ba? Itong second half ng winners natin. We also have 5 Subong, 5 Kamedis. Right, okay.
Correct.
Read down na to.
Yes.
Go, Coach Shea, for the Subong.
Subong packages ulit. 5 to, no? Lorely Arcega, Lor Torres, Joey Rico Hermoso, Hannah Carmela Garcia uli, and Grace Cleopas.
Congratulations! Now we have yung sa Kamedis naman. So we have another set of 5. So first is Flor de Lisa Servo. Then we have Ayan Tyrone Tarin. Then we have si C. Trixie De Nicolas. Then we have Evelyn Fermacion and Ate Cora del Rosario. Congratulations!
Congrats! Ayan, ang dami. Sana lahat tayo nagka-award today.
For the t-shirts, di ba may second set of t-shirts din tayo? Ibibigay na rin natin?
Yes, ito na. Do the honors, Sir Coach Chris?
Okay, for the next 3 winners of our t-shirt. Okay, so first is Isli Tohong, Jean Lee Chavez, and Larry Coladilla. Okay, so please coordinate with our co-host or Ate Lisa de la Cruz for your addresses.
Thank you. Ayan, again yung mga nanalo nung hindi shirts, yung Subong tsaka Kamedis, please coordinate with Emilu Casanova on Messenger, and yung sa United Shirts, please coordinate with Liza de la Cruz. There we go. Congratulations! Once again, nanood ka lang, meron ka pang premyo. Saan ka pa? Okay. Right. I think ito na. Oras na rin para ipakilala natin. Or actually, nalabas na natin siya kanina. Pero to officially close our BMW activities, we have with us, or we're calling back to the stage, Ate Liza de la Cruz. Ayan, ang punong abala ng lahat ng activities for Patient Summit or WPD celebration. There you go. Thank you.
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat po ako sa lahat ng tumulong. This has been our last activity for this year. Pero masasabi ko po, hindi po naging hadlang ang pandemic para hindi tayo makatulong, hindi tayo makakilos para sa ating komunidad. Nagpapasalamat po ako unang-una. Hindi po ako ang gumawa ng lahat ng ito, kundi ang mga tao sa likod ng likod ng kurtina, yung mga nagtatrabaho sa tech team, sa logistic, lahat-lahat. Ang lahat ng ito ay inialay po namin sa bawat isang pasyenteng nahihirapan, sa bawat pasyenteng nawawalan ng pag-asa. Isa po itong panawagan na huwag po tayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Marami pa po tayong magagawa para sa ating mga sarili. Pasalamat sa lahat ng mga taong gumagabay, sa mga partners namin na sponsors na hindi kami binibitawan dahil naniniwala sa ipinaglalaban ng komunidad. Maraming salamat kay Joseph de Guzman na nagagabay sa amin, ang nagtitimon sa bawat isa sa amin at nagiging inspirasyon ng bawat isang volunteers ng Psoriasis Philippines. Ang lahat ng ito ay inaalay natin sa dakilang Ama na laging nakagabay, laging naniniwala na isang araw ang psoriasis ay it's just a thing in the past. Kumbaga, wala na po akong masabi. Maraming salamat. Marge, you nailed it. Kahit nasa kayapa ka, nagawa mo. Salamat. Kay Joseph, kay Carol, kay Pong, kay Milu, kay TJ, kay Eve, lahat kayo. Kayo po ang gumawa ng success for this year at marami pa tayong gagawin sa susunod na taon. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Sa lahat po ng umattend, sa mga nakalimutan ko pong banggitin. Domeng! Ay, hindi po matatapos talaga si Domeng po. Si Domeng po ang direct. Saludo.
Baka mapatayan ka ng mic.
Oo nga. Saludo kami sa inyo. Sa inyo po sa lahat ng sponsors, sa lahat ng naniniwala sa ipinaglalaban ng Psoriasis Philippines. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, guys.
Salamat.
Thank you. And don't forget nga pala, meron tayong survey form.
Sorfil.
Oo, yan. 2 reminders. Bago kayo umalis ngayon, hapong ito, please do not forget to fill out the survey form. May maglalagay ng link po dito ngayon sa chat. Yes, at may magpa-flash sa screen, tama ba? ng ating survey form. It's very important para malaman natin kung paano natin i-improve ang ating BMW and Patient Summit in the future, di ba? Para makaserve sa community natin ng mas maayos. Ayan, yan na yung survey form. So please fill it out. And of course, don't forget, it's a Friday today. Meron tayong Weekends with Sorfil tomorrow and Sunday. And hanggang kailan ba this year? Tuloy-tuloy ba tayo?
Every weekend.
Yes, kay Chris Sabiera, sa lahat, sa broadcast team na patuloy na nandiyan. Salamat din sa inyo. Salamat.
Yes, tamang-tama, Coach Shea. Later, pagka magbakabitaw agad kayo dito, ay susunod po natin mamaya ang Weekends with Sorpil. Babalik tanaw natin yung ating BMW. Meron din tayong topic about ang dami ngayong weekend na to. Basta tutok lamang po tayo sa ating official Facebook fan page and our official YouTube channel para po kayo po ay patuloy na makasubaybay sa lahat po ng gawain ng ating Psoriasis Philippines. Advance Merry Christmas!
Percy. Hello, Percy! Nakita ko.
Hi, Percy! Hi, Hannah!
Hi, Percy!
Si Jane din nandyan. Hi, Jane!
Mag-on kayo ng cameras para magkakitaan naman tayo.
Si Hannah!
Si Jane nandyan, no? From di ba? Ate Emilu.
Si Jane Cavite chapter. Hi, Sylvester. Oh, yung
Yola Sanchez, shout out.
Magnenegosyo ng laundry service.
Si Coach Rixie nandyan. Woo!
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching and being with us.
Ang
dami pang hindi naka-on.
Si Imelda.
Salamat po.
All the way from Baguio na merong 10 degrees ngayon dyan. Kamusta naman?
Oo nga, Ate Ivy, ang sarap naman dyan, ang lamig.
Ang lamig. Gusto ko na pumunta.
Emilio, smile ka naman dyan.
Bye, Sir Joseph.
Lester.
Thank you for helping Jane. Thank you very much.
Kinakain mo.
Alisin natin yung pin natin para ano.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Remove the pin. Yan.
Coach PJ.
Coach Ray.
Strength and courage come through vulnerability. Psoriasis made me stop waiting and start living. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started to go to yoga class because it helps with managing stress and also getting more in touch with my body. It made me a more compassionate and empathetic person. I'm the person who goes and asks people, are they okay? Because I know what it feels like to be in pain, to suffer, to feel not well. It's just helped me build confidence. Also made me a stronger person because there's this physical and emotional discomfort on a day-to-day basis. It's taught me that I'm a resilient person. Psoriasis used to isolate me, and now it connects me. I don't think I would be in a position of being at peace with my skin, of feeling good, of living well with psoriasis, if it weren't for others who also vulnerably share their own stories, share their photos, comment and message me, and that I'm in community with. You are not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to be by yourself, that you can do the things that you dream of doing. It's just about taking those small steps.
My name's Rena, and I live with psoriasis.
There is more to psoriatic disease than meets the eye. Psoriatic disease is a progressive, systemic inflammatory disease that presents a wide spectrum of clinical manifestations and comorbidities and substantially deteriorates patients' quality of life. Skin is only part of the story. There are visible manifestations like plaque psoriasis, scalp psoriasis, nail psoriasis, and palmoplantar psoriasis. Psoriatic disease impacts the body deeper than skin, with invisible progressive manifestations like psoriatic arthritis, spondylitis, dactylitis, and enthesitis. There are several comorbidities like obesity, arterial hypertension, diabetes, ischemic heart disease, and inflammatory bowel disease. There is diminished quality of life, decreased mobility, depression, psychosocial burden, and decreased work productivity. Psoriatic disease requires an early intervention with a complete treatment approach. The goal of psoriatic disease management is an early, complete treatment approach to holistically minimize the disease impact on patients' lives.
What is GPP? GPP, or generalized pustular psoriasis, is a rare disease that can affect the body in several different ways. First of all, it's important to know that GPP is not contagious. You can't catch it from someone else or pass it on. It's not known exactly what causes GPP. Some people are naturally prone to getting it, but it can also be triggered by something in your life, such as stress or medication. The condition is more common in women than in men. GPP often starts in people in their 40s, but can occur at a younger age, although this is less common. It's not known exactly how many people have GPP. It is currently thought that around 1 person out of 10,000 may have GPP in the United States. In France, the estimated number is 2 out of 1 million, and in Japan it's 7 out of 1 million. Because it's rare, GPP is not easy to recognize, even for doctors. GPP is a unique condition that is distinct from plaque psoriasis. It can be confused with infections or plaque psoriasis, but the symptoms are not the same, and the conditions are not caused by the same processes in the body. Both plaque psoriasis and GPP can show up as large areas of red, painful, itchy, and extremely dry skin. However, GPP causes sterile pus-filled blisters. They're called pustules and can be as small as 2 to 3 millimeters, which is a little larger than a pinpoint, and they can join together and form lakes of pus. GPP also causes fiery red or discolored skin and burning pain on the skin. You may see blisters on the arms, legs, torso, or head. Fever or chills, joint pain, headache, extreme tiredness, muscle weakness, and other symptoms affecting the body generally may also occur in patients with GPP. These kinds of general symptoms are called systemic symptoms. There may be other health concerns with GPP, such as infections or problems with other organs. GPP can be life-threatening if left untreated. When GPP skin symptoms develop suddenly and intensely, with or without systemic symptoms, this is called a flare. GPP can have a major impact on your quality of life. However, it is very important to know that there are treatments that may help you manage the condition. Most of the medications used are not specifically approved for GPP, but they can help relieve skin symptoms as well as fever and pain. A first, very important step is getting the right diagnosis from a specialized dermatologist and receive help to manage your condition. Please speak to your doctor if you think you or someone you know may have GPP. This can help you find out more about the condition and get the help you need.
We are Janssen, the pharmaceutical companies of Johnson & Johnson. For nearly a century, we have fearlessly confronted the world's most devastating and complex diseases. Our goal? To create a future where disease is a thing of the past. Today at Janssen, we're more than 40,000 strong, working hard to treat, cure, stop, and prevent some of the most devastating and complex diseases of our time. From heart disease, diabetes, and psoriasis, to Alzheimer's, HIV, and cancer. We believe that challenging something is the best way to change it. So every day, in more than 150 countries, we bring together cutting-edge science and the most creative minds in the industry to think differently about how diseases can be not just treated, but predicted, preempted, and stopped in their tracks. And we aim not only to innovate, but also to empower people with the tools they need to make informed decisions and achieve the best possible results for their health, both now and in the future. And we stay focused on the disease areas where we believe we can make the biggest difference. Oncology, neuroscience, immunology, infectious diseases and vaccines, cardiovascular and metabolism, and pulmonary hypertension. But we wouldn't be able to achieve our success if it weren't for our approach to collaboration. We work closely with people who share our values, from researchers to governments, healthcare professionals, to patient organizations. And we work with them at every stage, from early discovery to market access and patient education. Because ultimately, solving complex problems and moving forward is about taking a different approach. It's about how we work and who we work with. It's about finding the best solutions and then taking them one step further to help bring those solutions to the people who need them most, wherever they live. Because at Janssen, we're creating a future where disease is a thing of the past.
Strength and courage come through vulnerability. Psoriasis made me stop waiting and start living. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I started to go to yoga class because It helps with managing stress and also getting more in touch with my body. It made me a more compassionate and empathetic person. I'm the person who goes and asks people, are they okay? Because I know what it feels like to be in pain, to suffer, to feel not well. It's just helped me build confidence. Also made me a stronger person because there's this physical and emotional discomfort on a day-to-day basis. It's taught me that I'm a resilient person. Psoriasis used to isolate me, and now it connects me. I don't think I would be in a position of being at peace with my skin, of feeling good, of living well with psoriasis, if it weren't for others who also vulnerably share their own stories, share their photos, comment and message me, and that I'm in community with. You are not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to be by yourself, that you can do the things that you dream of doing. It's just about taking those small steps.
My name's Rena, and I live with psoriasis.